Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560, toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the broadcast group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show.
Yes.
This is your brain. Any questions?
No.
Got for every mind.
All right.
I'll be rolling with a trunk load in my 81 Buick. Crack City, here I be come. And if I have to bust a cap, I just say I didn't do it. Crack City, here I be come. And when I get to Crack City, I go to the third world and ask around the club on who be buying my girl. Yeah, I be going to Crack City to the floating nightclubs. Yeah, I be going to Crack City and be stabbing my blood. When I be going to Crack City and unload my junk, I never go to Crack City without packing my gun. Yeah, 2 rocks for every mind. You know that every now and then I sell some crack to a white dude. Crack City, here I be gone. Some with buck or in the intersection working for free food. Crack City, here I be gone. Well, I be cruising by the Purple House with no windows and be macking on Moesha. She my favorite hoe. Yeah, please go to Crack City, and I'm gonna sell my crack. I'll be going to Crack City. You can count on that. I'll be going to Crack City, and that's my rap. I'll be going to Crack City, 'cause I be bad, yeah. 2 rocks for every mind. That's right. It's supposed to be a guitar here.
What are you talking about?
You mean you can't play no guitar?
Man, I don't play no guitar.
What is it? It's 10:03 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. Now, maybe George can explain to us in 50,000 words or less how come we had a tape on yesterday and he wasn't able to do the show yesterday, which he was supposed to do, since I was out yesterday still on vacation.
Because they wallpapered this place over the weekend.
Doesn't
and
it
the
look lovely?
No.
No,
Yeah.
it looks pretty
Better
dark.
than the mauve or whatever they had, the beige out there in the hallways. At least we got gray.
I like the schmutz the best when you come inside there by the toilet. See, one good thing about the outer hallway here at QAM is that the toilets are like in a toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you're inside the restrooms or outside, it's still a toilet. But anyway.
So the AC went out over the weekend also. So the rooms were filled with hot
The
fumes
AC went out here?
and was out all weekend
That's
long.
pretty unusual.
Everything in the studios was torn apart and broken down and piled up in big piles in the middle of it. And it wasn't until 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, once we could get in here and actually be in here, after the AC people came and turned the AC back on, it wasn't until 4 o'clock that the studios actually resembled a studio.
You mean here?
In both rooms, yes.
In our 2 rooms?
Our
but how about in the other place over there, the sports
apparently they did those over the weekend during other people's shows.
Oh.
They actually wallpapered while they were on the air and
what a concept.
caused them to gag and puke.
Great, excellent. Maybe that's why some of the people are going to be on sick. By the way, maybe you can name me a word that rhymes with crack besides black. I mean, like back. I'm back.
Smack, as in smack your bitch up?
Yeah, smack that bitch. See, that's the only thing that really bugs me over there in Amsterdam is the those schwarzes. I mean, what is it? Can't I go any place where there's just like a bunch of nice white people, you know? Does that make me a bigot?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm a bigot. Just call me John Rocker Jr. We got some exciting stuff going on here, baby. We got a temporary, not a brand new, let's not get too carried away. We got a temporary new phone system, and it really better work. And here already from Highland Beach, here's our first. This is exciting. It's only taken us almost 3 years now to get rid of that other piece of crap. Remember, I used to keep picking up that thing and slamming it and banging it. This isn't the real brand new exclusive great phone system. This is the interim system. Here's our first call from Highland Beach. Hello.
Havel Burry is God.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was pretty good. Welcome back, Neil. Yeah, pretty nice game last night, huh?
No.
Yeah, big deal. He scored a goal. He's God. He's great, but the team pretty weak. Pretty weak. Are we going to talk about hockey here?
No.
I sure as hell hope. That was it. That was our experiment here on the goddamn phone after I'm gone for 10 days with our new phone system. Let's get these things lit up here. What's wrong with...
Jimmy and Danny.
Yeah, I get in my car at the airport yesterday at Miami International. I get out of the parking thing with no problem at all. I get out of there real quick, and I punch up the radio, and here's the nice book, by the way, Humper. Yeah, the Humper had a really good book there.
That was fun.
Must have been all those Cecil Collins fans must have had the diaries. But at any rate, and the first thing that I hear, it's 5:45 last night, and the first call that I hear talking to Hank, and by the way, Hank sounded like he was eating a side of beef or something on the air last night, which some of us can eat on the air and do it a little discreetly, but he's like, what was that all about? Don't celebrate that good book too early, Humper. Don't eat your chickens before they lay one. But at any rate, so the guy is going on about, oh, well, I'm from New England, but I've been down here for 20 years, and I've watched Dan Marino in every game, and he's going on, oh, and I thought the guy was going to break into tears. He says, don't you think he deserves a ring? Don't you think he deserves a ring? Maybe in his nose. He might look kind of cute with a ring in his nose.
Yeah, that works.
He might have a ring in his... That might be kind of interesting. I'll pass on that, though. And maybe Grandma could, unzip his fly and look in there and see if it got any bigger. Oh, my God. Now, what just happened there on line 4? Because I don't want to start getting nervous on line 4 right off the bat here on our brand-new phone system. I want to make sure that this dial tone is nice and clear and it's going to start feeding back or making any funky sounds on the ear, you know what I'm saying? How does it sound to you? Does that sound, a little touch and go there is what it sounds like to me. Now, maybe it's just because it's feeding back into itself, or maybe because it's still on the same computer that I told you before hadn't been changed. Did they change the computer?
No.
No. Now, maybe that's just a byproduct. I did leave it on. Let's just try that one more time on line 4. This is just a little experiment. Oh, I just punched it up there, so it can't be because it's feeding back into itself. Does this line sound acceptable, like it's thick?
No.
Like it's the phone thing?
No.
Like maybe it's the computer that I mentioned before, that this company is too effing cheap?
I didn't have any funky sounds on it, except for line 8 coming on spontaneously all day long, every day. Last week.
You mean on the old one?
Yeah, on the old one.
Yeah. Well, but you know that just it comes and goes. It's a byproduct of whenever it feels like it. Here's Tamarack, our first call of the day on our new phone system. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, glad to hear you back.
Here I am.
All right.
Ready or not.
How was the trip? Good?
Great.
Hey, the quiet period's over. Let's get it. Oh!
No, it's not. No, it's not. 25 more days, sweetheart. Can we talk about that thing?
No.
Am I buying any?
No.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of which, I can't talk about that, but talk about stocks. Woo! I'm not going to mention the guys. You remember the guy in Atlanta that went nuts? The day trader that went nuts and went in there and started shooting everybody up? I can relate to it. I may just do the same thing before this day is out. I got a guy. I don't want to mention his name on the air. I left him a message at midnight on his office voicemail last night, midnight. Psychotic apoplectic. This man on paper in the month of January cost me $46,000. Okay? There are people who blow each other away for a hell of a lot less than that. $46. But everybody is an investment counselor. Everybody's a financial advisor. Everybody's a big shot. Everybody's an expert. This man doesn't know his from my ass, okay? Nice going there, Wayne. You idiot. I'll be talking to you today, sweetheart. 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM.
No portion of this broadcast may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM Beasley Reed Acquisition Corp.
It's Dave
In Miami town
at 560 WQAM. Let's do the shake. The Janet Reno shake. Wave your hands up and down and shake them all around. Now try to move your legs. The Janet Reno shake. Now shake them.
10:14 at 560 WQAM. What do you do to a son of a bitch that comes to you? Did I approach them over there at that? I don't want to mention the bank. No. That comes to you with a song and a dance, and anybody can put a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? I say, give me $50, and I'll make a whole schedule up for you. Like in 6 months, it'll be $10 million. And you say, that looks pretty good. Anybody can do that. Any shyster, any asshole, any jackass can do that. What do you do with a piece of crap? Like he said in Godfather 3. What do we do with a piece of crap that's running around town saying F. Michael Corleone? What do we do with a piece of crap like that? I say, shoot him in the leg at the very least. At the very least. So if there's anybody out there that's gotten some real bad advice from a financial counselor, from a self-proclaimed, especially somebody that, came and hustled you to get a hold of all your money so he can, make his nice commission every month, I say,
shoot them in the leg.
Yeah. Teach him a good lesson. Like in Goodfellas. The guy didn't bring his drink.
Shoot them in the leg.
Fast enough. Shoot him in the effing leg. That's what Joe Pesci said. So the fall book is finally out, the ratings book. It's only the 15th of February, and the fall book is out. A little bit of problem up there at Beltsville, Maryland. A little bit of a problem with some very suspect numbers here. We really took a dive here. Now, morning they went up. Hank went way up there. He went zooming up. All Cecil Collins' buddies. All the jailbirds got their diaries. That was funny. And evidently they liked what he was saying about that, about how he was just going in there to take a sniff. Isn't that what he said? To sniff it out? When in doubt, sniff it out. And but the important part is men. We still got our men, baby. Oh! We're number one in men. That's all we care about because that's what our bonus is based on here, and that's all we care about. The rest of it is we don't care. Screw them. Men 25-54. That's where it's at. We're number one and that's not even close. How do you like that? So even though that we had this disaster book the rest of the time, and guess the Arbitron's got a new deal now. Every rating book, they have another phantom radio station that allegedly is killing the audience, especially in men. Last book, what was it? It was Smegma. Disco music. Does anybody believe that?
No.
That straight men are listening to disco music?
No.
Or that even us old fags want to hear it very much anymore?
No.
No. Don't want to hear that. That now all of a sudden that's like in one book it's already come back down to earth. What's the station this time? And maybe somebody in the audience can explain to me what this, I know it's Spanish language, WXDJ. Is that the Russ Oasis station? Because once upon a time they swapped, years ago, one of those marginal FMs. Was it Love 94? I don't know what it was. In fact, I get that in WMJX and WXDJ Magic. But anyway, WXDJ is number one in men, 25-54, in the afternoon with a 6.7 share. They went up 2 points inexplicably. Yeah. And I don't even know what the hell they play. Did they play spick music? Is that what it? No, but even George don't know. And after Grandma puts it back in your pants, then let's ask her what it'd be all about. Now, see, these are the same barbarians, not just scumbags. That's too kind of a word. They're the same barbarians that are down there with the wooden teeth and the yellow teeth, standing around in front of the house when it's expedient and convenient, and then go away when everybody says, okay, go away, it's embarrassing, we're going to put up a fence. The same trash. So why should it come as any... These are the same people, like which you told the stories yourself years ago. Take the toilet paper and stick it in the goddamn... when they're finished with it, stick it in the box, for next time. Yeah, for safekeeping. For a rainy day. Maybe that's why their favorite song in Little Havana is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Maybe that's why they like that so much. Yeah, because they're Betty Betty Chitty. So it comes as some great surprise that the grandmother's in there. And, on the day that I left for vacation at the airport, I pick up the New York Post, which I never read the New York Post. I must have been psychic again. And sure enough, here's an article by some Cuban writer in the New York Post all about the fact that this wasn't so shocking. It was taken out of context. And this is commonplace among certain scumbag people in Cuba to diddle around with their little kids and bite their tongue and zip up their... Now, let me just ask you this, because I've tried that trick before and worked like a charm. Yeah. Not so much the biting on the tongue thing, but unzipping the fly. Let me see if that thing grew since the last time, since 2 months ago.
Yeah, look at gruesome.
Yeah, gruesome. Boy, it looked pretty gruesome to me. Especially that Famosa deal on there. But at any rate, I thought he was from Cuba. It's just not that surprising. Now, he says it was taken out of context. It's not that unusual. Yeah, because they're scum. They're trash. This isn't some classy, glamorous family. These aren't some brilliant, educated, skilled people. These are scumbags. These are the trash of the universe that everybody was getting so emotional and whipped up about here until Danny decided he was going to whatever he did. That's the best. Oh, you don't understand. He's got to get a ring. I can just see him hobbling around on crutches, 90 years old. He still don't have his ring. And they're still calling this radio station, crying and carrying on like this guy with Hank yesterday. I thought the guy was going to have a breakdown right there on the air.
How about a bathtub ring?
A ring around the collar. How does that sound, Danny? This guy's been making millions and millions and millions. He is semi-articulate at best. He was great once upon a time. He doesn't have it anymore. He's finito. He's finished. He's done. You understand? Can you relate to that? He's done. So anyway, getting back to the book. The best part of the whole deal. Nice going there, Peter Bolger. You know, nobody in the world is perfect except him. He's an asshole. The perfect asshole. He is. Everything he does, without exception, with everything he touches, turns to Schmidt. I mean, pure, instant, processed Schmidt, Pete Bolger. He's the Schmidt head of radio. Now, let me give you an example. Not that there's anything to write home about. There's no story over there because what they do, they keep moving stuff off one station and they move it to another station. And it finally catches up, and a few months later, they, like Dr. Laura, that bitch, and Lardass. They moved them from INZ to IOD. Guess what? Now they got the same numbers in IOD. They had an INZ. How about that? An INZ, have they got any numbers?
No.
No. They got numbers all right. Rick and Suds, men 25:54 in the morning, a 1 point.
Oh!
Those Phil Henry tapes and Jim Rome that was supposed to give us such great competition in the midday from 10 to 3, they got a 0.9 in men 25:54. A 0.9 in midday. And in the afternoon, wait till you hear this. They got a 1.2. That was the only day part that went up in men. In anything. Nice going, Pete. And is she on the air?
No.
No. She's having her back broken or something like that. What is she having done?
A new wooden leg.
A new peg leg in her rectum? Something. I don't know. We can't figure it out. But anyway, she's having her body rebuilt, which I can easily understand. And they got this Liz Wild bitch on there who's saying penis like every 2 minutes, thinking that's going to get an audience. And here was the only number that they had, and she's off the air. Nice going there, Pete. And going to get canned when she comes back. Absolutely mind-blowing that anybody could be as perfect as Pete Bolger. He ought to be working here. Really, because everything he touches turns to pure, smelly, big, oozing excrement. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil. Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. Sorry, I just coughed. I read the funniest thing yesterday in the paper. Ray Lewis had a quote. He feels bad for the family of the two victims of the stabbing and wants to call them to give them his sympathies.
Uh-huh.
Is that amazing?
Didn't you read the quote about how God and the devil and all this other crap, the devil keeps picking these times to do this stuff to him? To test him? Yeah, he's testing him.
Oh, that's just sick. And one other thing, I read an article in Us magazine about, does the name Big Papa sound familiar?
Yeah.
I read, I never knew anything about the background of these guys. Is he gay?
How do I know?
I know the article.
Is he gay?
Gay like.
How do I know? Is he a homo? Is he a faggot? I don't know.
Oh, I don't
He's
care.
not my type.
But the article intimated that. I mean,
by saying what?
Well,
that he intimating that he was a pedophile and going out there and collecting all these young boys.
They made a point of saying single man never married.
Let me ask you: has Hank Goldberg ever been married?
Good point.
567-0560. Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Eight 877-785-6345 on the world famous out of town. I don't know what you're all red in the face about. I mean, what does that prove? The guy is like a middle-aged guy who's never been married. I'm a middle-aged guy, like a little bit. The old man, as George says, the old man. Yeah, I heard that today. I was driving to the airport. And by the way, I didn't hear those intellectual callers that I always hear that you supposedly get. I heard a bunch of morons.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wasn't the one that said that.
God, what a bunch of idiots. Oh, is Neil, where's the old man? He's on vacation. Oh, Love 94, here I come. See, this is South Florida. Not just the fact that, okay, I'm on vacation, which I take a lot of vacations, and believe me, I need them when I work here, and I deserve them. But nevertheless, whether you like that or not, it's a fact. So your call asked whoever's running the board, which I'm sure was Joe in this case. Is Neil on today? No. And when's he coming back? He'll be back on Tuesday, February 15th. Okay, great. No, this guy waits on hold to give you the shtuch. This is the South Florida way. The guy waits on hold. Oh, Love 94, here I come. In other words, George is on, meaning I'm going to be turning it off right now until the old man gets back. And by the way, not only did I play the Bloodhound Gang.
Yes. I gave you credit every time I played it, by the way.
And
for playing it first.
And it's the same album. There's only one album.
People calling up saying there's like 3 or 4 or 5.
I don't think so. It's the Boobies album. Yeah. And the cut is what the hell's the name of the cut? Oh, come on, it's like a gigantic hit. It's the Unclean, whatever it is. How about Eiffel 65 and Blue? Who played that before anybody in America, not just in this market, months and months before anybody, and Move Your Body, which is their new hit, and lots of other stuff that isn't just a bunch of fag music.
I saw the video, by the way, for the Bloodhound Gang.
What is it? The something thing. What is it called? See, now I'm getting started on that thing, and I don't even care about what that thing is, unless it grew in the last couple of months. WXDJ, are we going to get any calls about that?
No.
Find out what that is?
No.
Some Spanish language subversive station. I'm sure it's just a music station. The Evil Touch, that's what it's called, George. There you go. The Bad Touch, Evil Touch, Touch This. Is it the Bad Touch? Yeah, that's it. There's only the one album. I'm almost positive of that. And these guys are from Philadelphia, by the way. Have you ever seen them, the Bloodhound Gang? Have you ever seen the video?
The video in the monkey outfits.
Huh?
They're wearing monkey suits.
Oh, they actually are showing that video here?
No, on the box.
Oh, I see. I don't think they're going to be showing that video anytime soon. The zebras and the giraffes humping, are they going to be showing that here?
No.
Not in this country. 26 after 10. So let me ask you, did you put mayonnaise on your fries when you were in Amsterdam?
No.
Or what? Come on, tell us about what it was like. Did it rain there a little bit? Huh? Did it rain some?
Uh-huh.
It was great. It was sensational. Except for those Schwarzers with their crack problem. And now the new deal is they follow you like a half a block. They don't want to take no for an answer. Crack man, go, no, not interested. Why not? Well, what does that mean, why not? What kind of a question is that? Why not? Like an Alfred E. Newman question. Like Dayton Allen. Anybody remember Dayton Allen?
No.
Brooke O'Brien does. 27 after 10 at 560 WQAM.
How young is too young? Are you not a fan of Britney Spears? Then do we have a collection of music for you? It's Paytel's artists who aren't Britney Spears. Yes, rock harder than ever with all those bands who never were, aren't now, and never will be this scantily clad, lip-syncing, barely legal pop diva. Featuring over 200 cuts from your favorite artists who are not Britney Spears, like Todd Rundgren, Sheryl Crow, Sting, Don Henley, R.E.M., U2, UB40, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Better Than Ezra, Paul Simon, Carly Simon, Neil Simon, Simply Red, David Lee Roth, Eurythmics, Lamb, Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, Dexys, Midnight Runners, The New Kids on the Block, The Doors, all the people who ever played in Menudo, Jay Giles Band, The Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, and many, many more who are not Britney Spears, like Paul McCartney, David Bowie, The Cars, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson, Parliament Funkadelic, Dave Matthews, Ricky Martin, Garth Brooks, and dozens of others who have never performed under the name Britney Spears, such as Little Richard, Spin Doctors, Edie Brickell and New Bohemians, Lionel Richie, Billy Idol, Grand Funk Railroad, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, Bob Seger, Tom Petty, Steve Miller, Kiss, Fleetwood Mac, Peter Frampton, Leonard Skinner, AC/DC, and ZZ Top. Plus, if you act now, you'll get K-Tel's artists who aren't the Backstreet Boys. Over 300 high-energy tunes with bands like Bad Company, Talking Heads, Heart, Blondie, Alanis Morissette, Jewel, Metallica, and many, many more who aren't the Backstreet Boys. Yours free when you order K-Tel's artists who aren't Britney Spears today. Operators standing by, none of whom are named Britney Spears.
So what was that guy trying to say about Big Papa anyway? You know, she's from Louisiana. Britney Spears, did you know that? She's from Louisiana.
No. What does that mean?
That means she just dropped a couple of notches. 56705 in Natchez. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Let's find out about WXDJ. See, this is the story of my life. Doing this show. I come in, there's one thing, I look at these ratings, I see this mysterious station comes out of nowhere that nobody ever heard of before. It's number 1 in men in the afternoon. Number 1, and number not too bad in the rest of the day either. Bogus numbers there that all of a sudden they got all these wired diaries. Can one person in this audience tell us what they play on WXDJ, what this is? Can one person do that?
No.
Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Okay, thank you. Hollywood, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
I've really missed you. Seems like you've been gone for like 4 years.
Seemed like about 4 minutes to me.
Not me. Have you been following anything with the Republican primaries?
Have I been following anything with the Republican primaries? Now, that's an interesting question, especially the way you phrase it. What does that mean?
Have you been watching, are you familiar with any of the candidates?
When I was in, do I what?
Are you familiar with any of the candidates?
Am I familiar with any of them? Let's see, there's one guy named Bush, right?
Well, the only
And there's a guy named McCain who's a right-wing phony pretending to be something that he's not, yeah.
No, I happen to like McCain. I just wanted to...
Well, I don't.
I
don't. He's even more right-wing than Bush.
I disagree.
I don't care whether you disagree or not. His voting record is as right-wing as you can get.
Well, I'll tell you who's right-wing, is the moron Alan Keyes, that black idiot.
Yeah.
Have you listened to him?
But why are we talking about this? What is the point?
The point is this, there's really only one good candidate, and that's John M. McCain.
He's the best you got?
From the Republican Party? Sure is.
You're a Republican?
I'm an independent.
Yeah, but you're going to vote Republican. It's very obvious because otherwise you wouldn't be talking about this.
I can't stand Gore and I can't stand Bill
Okay, so you're going to be voting for the Republican candidate.
Yeah, this
well, my condolences to you. They don't have a better choice. Sorry. 567, don't blame me. I got nothing to do with that. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. McCain is the biggest, as phony as an $80 bill. When it comes to abortion, when it comes to anything. I was reading an article in the Atlanta paper, and the right wing, and boy, you talk about bad newspapers. I was in the airport there yesterday. The Atlanta Urinal Constitution. Cox newspapers, by the way. Oh, my God. They make you die for the Herald and the Sun Sentinel. That's how bad they are. Yokel papers, like Pappy Yoakum wrote them. God almighty. But it listed all his voting record. The guy, he walks around, he wants to bring government back to the people. He's this, bada beep. He's full of crap is what he is. Another right-winger in sheep's clothing. And how about that Reform Party? That's what this guy ought to be talking about. Oh! Yeah, they're having fistfights out there. They're rolling up their sleeves. They're not doing anymore. They're rolling up their sleeves and beating the crap out of each other. That's the way we like it. Sign them up. The Panthers could use them on defense. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Can't even get one call. See, I'm concerned about this line here, this 4 and this thing again. It sounds like, I'm not really sure. What about 7, too? Is 7, we're going to have a problem with 7? Because if we have any problems with this instrument here, which is our interim new phone, it's going to be very disconcerting to me. I can tell you that right off the bat. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir?
How you doing?
Okay.
You touched upon the Panthers, man. South Florida wouldn't know a real superstar from their rectum.
Yeah, so what's the point of keep repeating? They don't care. They have no interest in it. They don't know and they don't care. They do not care. I heard the attendance from the San Jose game last Wednesday was so bad you could add your own section in there, is what I heard.
I'm telling you, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Dan Marino, but right now we have the MVP of the All-Star playing down here in Florida, and does anybody care?
No.
No,
and assholes like Greg, Dan LeBastard, and Dave Hyde are writing about Dan Marino as the greatest athlete that ever played here. Are they kidding me or what? Are they out of their minds?
Uh-huh. The Herald can't even spell Panthers right this morning.
Right.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, South Florida would know.
But what's the point of keep repeating? They don't care. This is not a hockey place. It's not a sports place. It's a Danny and Jimmy place, and guess what? They're both gone. So does that leave anything in the world of sports?
No.
No. It's not a sports place. This is tragic here today. This is unbelievable. 567-0560. How can you test a phone out when you don't have any phone callers on there? Are we on the air here, or is another goddamn Bob DeMuth dry run today? That must be it. Oh, yeah, I got plenty to say about him, that asshole over there in Fort Myers. You're not fooling anybody, you and your Beasley boys, okay? You jackass that we had to sit up here for like a year with phone crap that wouldn't work and maybe still doesn't because you're a bunch of cheap pricks. You're not fooling me, I'll tell you that. 567-05. How about a line check? How about a test? How about something? An indication somebody is alive out there and listening to this radio show now. Otherwise, I can go back to Amsterdam and eat French fries with mayonnaise for another couple of weeks. I got my check. What the hell do I care? WXDJ. Very simple question, and you're the one that's always telling me all these spics listen to this show, which I don't believe, and I know they don't.
That's a bogus book.
They don't.
XDJ is salsa and merengue. Nobody will go on the air and tell you.
Why not?
Because, they're cowardly.
Cowardly spics? Isn't that redundant? Oh, they're the ones that turned tail and ran, right? Are those the ones we're talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Left all that toilet paper behind in those big cartons. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Every single time I come in here and it's with great expectations. Why? Am I some kind of an idiot? Am I some kind of a moron with Alzheimer's? What am I expecting from this crowd? They got no material. Very simple question. WXDJ. Here's the ratings. This is the business that we're in. You're obviously listening on a radio or a pop-up toaster, so radio is part of your life. What does this station play? What does it do? What is it? What change did they make that all of a sudden are they giving away a lot of money? Please tell us something, anything. Will you do it?
No.
Thank you. And the best part of the deal is 10 days away from here, did I have one little twitch for my IBS?
No.
For my, no. For my intestinal, for my Kishki problem?
No.
And I ate all kinds of junk. I didn't eat that much, but I, stuff that wasn't that great. Even ate McDonald's a couple of times over there. That's right. Did I have even the slightest little intestinal fart?
No.
No. Great bowel movements. You'd have been very proud. They were beautiful. Copious and beautiful. Yeah. And then I come back here and I find out who put the BS in my IBS. Right here in this place. And I'm not so sure if it's so much on the inside, or maybe it's on the outside, maybe a combination of both. This reluctant crowd that just absolutely adamantly refuses to play the game. It's okay. I got a lot of that fag music, 20 before 11 at 560 QAM.
Only one South Florida radio station has the hammer. And you're listening to it. That's Goldberg. Weekday afternoons at 2. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, Alonzo, you're so big.
How many times has this happened to you?
I am Satan. Worship me. Eat double spoon cake.
Nuts! Another evening of listening to records backwards, ruined by satanic messages. Now, protect yourself by insisting on quality recordings only from Backside Records, the records made to be played backwards. Get the hits of the happening 60s, the monotonous 70s, and the pointless 80s.
Gee, dear, that's a catchy tune. What's it called?
Ich hab with the one, ja.
Of course. I should have known.
Don't let those irritating, blasphemous messages spoil your listening. Anything worth hearing is worth hearing backwards on Backside Records. All right.
10:45 at 560 WQAM. Hank will be here in the studio at 2 o'clock in their palatial studios over there where they have some real equipment and a phone that works most of the time. Boog Shabby will be here 6 to 10 tonight. Keeping out the good stuff, and then Eddie K at 10. Here's a fax that says, please give us the numbers for Magic 102.7. It plays the same 50 oldies all the time. Well, I hate to break the news to you, sir, or ma'am, or whatever you might be, but they had a good book. Men 2554, which basically that's the only demo we even need to look at anymore. Nobody cares about the women, do they?
No.
Like Jerry Lewis said, they're only for making babies. Did you read that?
Yeah. The wife was telling me about that.
Yeah.
That there are no funny female comedians.
Yeah, but Lucille Ball, you must have been crazy about it. No, she stunk.
Yeah,
and women are just for making babies. They're just masturbation receptacles for men.
They can't all be comic geniuses like him.
Right. God. And you wonder why his kid didn't speak for 5 years? Had nothing to do with Vietnam. So anyway, 2-9 to a 3-3 in the morning, a Magic. 2-4 to a 3-5 midday. 2-2 to a 3-9 in the afternoon. So Magic 102.7 with those same 50 moldy oldies. They're doing it, baby. Especially now they got rid of that Sonny Fox. Well, seriously, that's what put him back on top again. They got rid of his ass. Oh, did you know that Bob McCain has left? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
He's going to Philadelphia to try to save the Beasley country station up there that's dying on the vine along with all the other Beasley stations. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Well, that has nothing to do with that thing that we can't talk about yet for another 25 days, does it? No. The fact that they're losing their ass and he had to go up there and try to patch it back together again with some Scotch tape and glue and the hillbilly stuff. So won't see his bad hairpiece no more, Bob McKay. But anyway, and here's a fax from some clown in Sweetwater for Sweetwater Construction. Randall. Take a look at that. Joe Rose first team. See, I hate to break the news to you, sir, but you're setting it, first of all, at a time when they're already off the air, the number one. And number two, to our fax machine, are they ever going to see this?
No.
Are they going to get it?
No.
No. A fax to Joe Rose. Paragraph after paragraph after paragraph, as if this is important stuff about the Dolphins this and the Dolphins that, and he was a fan, and Shula did this, and Jimmy did that. Regarding Dan Marino's future, I believe that Dan still has something left. I believe no one knows Dan's limitations and abilities as well as he himself does. And yada dee, bada boop, bada bop, bada bop. You know something, Randall? Get a frickin' life, okay, you silly person, you get a life. He's done. He's finished. Stick a fork in him, okay? Right in his
rectum.
He's all done. Oh, he turned down the last 2 years, whatever the hell they call that, on his contract, hoping now that they would re-sign him, save money under the salary cap, and bada beep, bada boop, bada bop, and Ken Griffey Jr. is only going to make $12.5 million a year in Cincinnati, and all this other insanity. All this craziness. And people think this is important stuff. 2 more dead kids in Columbine High, by the way. You saw this. I know this is going to come as a great shock to you, but I was over there in Europe for 10 days. Did I see anybody get shot?
No.
Did I see anybody with a gun beside the cops?
No.
Did I hear about anybody getting shot?
No.
Did I see anybody hear any gunshots going off?
No.
Warrensburg, Missouri. A woman and 4 of her children were found shot to death at their home Monday. 2 of the woman's other children, an infant and 3-year-old girl, also were shot. The 2 girls were expected to survive. A man was taken into custody Monday at the scene of the shooting, but police would not release his name nor the relationship to the victims. Victims were identified as Tina Wood, 31, Jared, 10, Joshua, 8, Emily, 7, and Hannah, 5. The shootings occurred in a rural, heavily wooded area off a dirt road in Warrensburg, about 50 miles southeast of Kansas City. Grief hits Columbine. Here's this guy over there at Sweetwater Construction that takes the time out of his busy life to fax Joe Rose a 7,500 paragraph heartfelt thing about the Dolphins and Dan Marino and a bunch of crap, a bunch of schmidt. 2 students found shot to death in a nearby sandwich shop by the high school in Columbine Heights. They didn't already have enough, which I wasn't even aware, by the way. February 1st, the body of an 11-year-old boy was found in a trash bin near the school. Did you know that? Yeah. They're killing kids in this country like stepping on cockroaches. And what's this guy worried about? Oh, is Danny going to get a ring? Has Danny got something left? He's only got about $45 million stacked away. See, this is a country of crazy people. And like the Swiss have proven, there's nothing wrong with guns themselves if responsible people are the ones who have them. And put them away and make sure they stay away and don't use them for fun and games and leave them laying around. These are not responsible people in this country. Just take a look at the way they drive those automobiles out there. They're not responsible people, and they're killing each other like flies. And this guy's worried about Danny this and Danny that, and bada beep, bada boop, bada same old tired crap. Like I said, I get in my car yesterday at the airport, right out of the box, first day back after 10 days. And, I've been watching CNN International. I know what's going on, and reading my USA Today. So I have a pretty good idea, generally speaking, of what's going on. But what's the first thing I hear? Is Danny going to get a ring? This guy's so upset. I'm serious. I thought he was going to blow his brains out right there in the ear. Probably would have gotten Hank's numbers up to a 7 share. Yeah, come on, Hank. You can do it. Get some of these callers, these distraught Danny people, that blow their brains out right on the ear. Get a 15 share easy. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Waxahachie. Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
welcome back. You hear me, Neil?
Bad phone, yeah.
I'm way out in the middle.
Yeah, okay. Call me back on a phone that works, okay, sir? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, out-of-town line, 877-785-6345. This is real pain. Here's Miami. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
I know you weren't probably on the flight, but the funniest stuff on TV yesterday was the bond hearing for Ray Lewis. Everybody and their mother coming up saying he's such a wonderful child.
Mm-hmm.
He never did anything, never stole a freight train.
So what does that prove? What does that mean? Who cares? Who cares what they said?
No, it's just funny seeing those people out there.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time watching it. Okay, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Hello, Mel.
Yes.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, man?
Okay.
I was out of town myself. I wanted to get out of here like I usually do twice a year. I was in Canada. And come back here to what you always say, the filth of this freaking earth. Back to the same crap. Thank God they haven't been talking about Elian, okay? But I also heard that guy yesterday on the Humper show, the guy about Marino. The Dolphins don't owe Marino nothing. He made he had a hell of a career. He made a lot of money with the Dolphins. The Dolphins don't owe him crap. The only thing he's got left over is money.
Well,
lots
sir,
of money.
let me ask you, why is anybody talking about this?
Oh, I don't know.
Why is this important?
It's freaking crazy, man. Who cares? Who cares about Dan Marino anymore? Get a life, people.
And you know something? When he was still playing, all they wanted to do was call up and then trash him and talk about how he was a doddering old man and they were losing because of him. And now that he's probably going to be retiring, hopefully, if he's got any brains in his head, now it's, they are screwing him and kicking him out the back door. What is wrong with these people in this town?
You know what it is? When I was, when I was up there in Canada, for example, I was thinking about this, and you preach it and you say it over and over. People down here, 99% of the people don't have a life. They don't travel. They don't go around the world. They don't go any other place. All they do is Miami, and they don't have nothing else in their brains except for the crap that happens here in Dade County. See ya.
5670560. This is just like the day before I left on vacation. What goes around comes around. It's like deja vu all over again. Just exactly the same. They have no material. They must have given you all the good material while I was gone.
Oh, no.
No? You were telling me before that went
was
great.
Fine. But it wasn't gangbusters.
Well, what does that mean? This isn't gangbusters. This is death-defying. This is unbelievable. I asked a question about a goddamn radio station, WXDJ, which I'm still waiting to hear an answer about. How come they got these big numbers and what's going on with them? Can I get one person to call in on this show and then speak for like 20 seconds about it?
No.
Tell us what it's all about?
No.
No. Forgetting about all the other stuff. Just setting that aside. Forgetting about did it really grow in those 2 months or not. See, that's something I'm a little bit curious about. Not very curious. But how much was it going to grow in 2 months? Please, don't give me, I'm going to be very embarrassed. Maybe a little bit longer than that, I'm going to be real upset. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello. Mobile in Coral Springs.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you? I have something very important to discuss.
Uh-huh.
Food, our favorite topic. I went to the Chinese buffet last night. I didn't have a plan. I got full. I rushed. What is your strategy at the buffet, please?
In other words, you want me to tell you how to eat?
Yeah. How do you attack the plate? What is your
How do I attack the plate?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What is your strategy? What areas do you concentrate on?
I concentrate mostly on my foot and your
rectum.
That's primarily my number one strategy. Okay, sir? Once you get your boyfriend's fist out of there, let's make room for my foot and
rectum.
Yes.
How do you attack it? Don't you use the rifle and then the bayonet when you get close?
5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T. Boy, I tell you one thing. I sure wish I could get those intellectual callers like George does. God damn it. Maybe even that Love 94 guy will call me today. The guy that pretended that he was listening to Love 94, but just coincidentally kept finding his way onto the phone during the week. Must have been more phone accidents, huh? What did I miss on Guiding Light while I was gone? Do we have any women on the phone here?
No.
Maybe I see there's one that might get on here today. This is what is with you people? What is with this town? How is this possible? We got this new phone system. I've had 20 years off my life to forget about the brand new phone system that's supposedly 2 weeks away. Just this interim phone system that looks like just maybe it might work. Now all we need are some goddamn callers with something to say. How do you attack the plate at the buffet? With a goddamn bayonet. You jackass. God, I sure hope it wasn't the Emerald Coast. My friends over there don't deserve his ass. 1056 at 560 QAM.
Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Fort Lauderdale. I used to have things and pissed it away. I'd be busted. Now I got to give all my houses away. I'd be busted.
All right.
When I was a kid, they called me a bum. They must have knew then I'm pathetically dumb. I made lots of money, now I ain't got none. I'm busted. No! I won't get the bitches without any bread because I'd be busted. Just because I kicked on King in his head, I'd be busted. I spent time in jail and they had me some queers, so when I got out, on. I've been off with guys here. I'm back where I started. I just got no clear instructions. Man, I'm sorry. No more good grade early. Oh!
11:01 at 560 WQAM. Nobody mentioned the Tom Jick article either, by the way, about the FCC fine.
I did. It's on the website.
Oh, it is? FCC fine of Rogers more indecent than the offense. Norma Kent faxed this to me over in Amsterdam.
I didn't read it on the air, though.
Why not?
I just mentioned that it's on the website.
Well, at least Tom Jick realizes that I'm still on the air here.
Uh-huh.
Still knows how to spell my name. Nice going, Tom. Better late than never. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello. Mobile in Boca.
Yeah, hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
I don't really think that getting rid of violence is all that difficult a thing in this country.
Getting rid of what?
Violence is all that difficult a thing in this country.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that we have to look at, that's right, one of the things that we have to look at is getting rid of the guns out of people's hands. See how novel an idea that is. Secondarily, if anybody commits a crime with a gun, they should be put to death. Period. End of story. Do you think too many people are going to actually, with those stakes, be committing crimes? You get caught with a gun in your hand when a policeman pulls you over, and you get convicted of that crime, you go and you are put to death. You know, the Constitution is a...
How about we just put you to death? Wouldn't that be a lot easier?
No, you could, but
yeah.
the bottom line
that
is
sounds a lot less work and a lot less expensive. Let's take that. Okay, matters into our own hands right there. Yeah, just let's kill everybody, huh? Because that's what we like. We like that capital punishment, even though they're finding out in Illinois, for example, and other places like Texas, by the way, Governor Bush, where they got more people on death row, where they like frying them like crazy or sticking them with whatever they're sticking them. Finding out that a lot of these people, well, maybe they weren't guilty in the first place. Well, listen, we can't be bothered with details because the American public will not sit still for getting rid of the death penalty because, let's face it, we're pissed off and we don't have any other answers. So that's the response you get, just like this guy. It's easy to get rid of violence. Just kill everybody with a gun. Brilliant thinking there, sir. Thank God I finally got one of those great intellectual callers that I've been savoring for so long. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. By the way, Barry Jackass, your favorite station there, 1700 The Fan. They've been on the air now since before Lincoln got a bad headache. Do they still show in the ratings?
No.
No, not one diary, not one, nothing, nowhere, no. They don't show. They have no audience. None. How do you like them apples, huh? Here's a lady in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I was just listening about the fact that you were talking about the schools and how much violence there is, and I'm with Earthkind, and I go into the schools to...
You're with what?
Earthkind. It's a non-profit organization. I go into the schools and teach students about how we treat non-human animals and vegetarianism and all that sort of stuff. And what I've noticed when I go into the schools is there's a lot of isolation with other students because of the size of the schools. There's thousands. I went into one school with about 2,500 students. It's like a small city in there. And a lot of the students are teased because some people think they're gay, and therefore they're teased. Whether or not they're gay or not is not the problem.
So that's something new?
No, I'm not saying it's something new.
And that's why people are blowing our kids away and they're killing each other because they're being teased?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's new. It's been happening all the time, but I believe it's increased because of the schools being so huge and encourages isolation. The way that we treat non-human animals and other people here, not having enough rights for gay people, for instance, we're still not allowed to get married and have the same rights as other people. There's a lot of discrimination still, and how can we foster compassion in that kind of a climate? I believe there needs to be classes in compassion.
Yeah.
Compassion and tolerance for all.
It's not going to happen.
I don't know.
This is a country based on hate.
I guess I'm trying to be optimistic.
Scapegoats and hate. That's the American way.
I'm going to be optimistic and continue the work I do with Earthkind and push...
What was that again?
Earthkind.
Oh, okay, thank you. 567-0560, pound 5. We've had enough of her kind. Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I mean, maybe she's got very good intentions, she and her girlfriend, whatever, but that's their thing, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This is as dead as the proverbial doornail here today. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Great to have you back, man.
Sure, I can see that.
You
know something? There's nothing wrong with this phone. There's nothing wrong with this radio station. This town just sucks. That's all. These people are a bunch of deadheads. They have no material. They're not capable of having a goddamn conversation.
It's going to slowly pick up. Remember, you were on vacation. George was on. Everybody was tuned into Love 94.
Yeah,
now
right,
they're all
that's
coming
right.
back.
Yeah, uh-huh.
All right. Great to have you back.
Yeah, sure, right. Including this is was that the asshole? Oh, yeah. Everybody was tuned into Love 94, my ass. You're a moron, and I'm not interested in having you suck around with me, sir, because you're a jackass. All week long he's calling, Neil's not back, I'm going back to Love 94. Right. And he has to get in yet another shot here today because he's the scum. He's the scum that makes South Florida what it is today, a big oozing pile of scum. You can smell it way out in the middle of the goddamn ocean. You can smell it drifting out there as the plane approached from Atlanta yesterday. And by the way, I got nothing but good things to say about Delta. Oh! How do you like that? That's a shock to me, I'm telling you. Well, frequent flyer miles, you got to use them somehow, so I went through Atlanta and came back through Atlanta. Business class, outstanding. No problem. Food was great. The business class, you got enough room. You could lay down flat, stick your legs out, your toes as far as they would go forward, and not hit the back of the seat in front of you. How do you like that? I liked it. Nice going there, Delta. Maybe they're making a little bit of a comeback, at least on the international flights. And Atlanta, no problem at all. Come through customs in Atlanta, zip through that thing. Beautiful, wonderful. Maybe it was just blind luck is what it was.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, I came back here. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. Mobile in Miami.
Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm one of your dark-complected Hispanic listeners.
Yes?
And when I hear solve your WXDJ, Spanish radio station like George was saying, that
You mean somebody's actually going to answer my question even though it only took an hour? Oh, my God.
It's been a while working. Finally got a break so I can give you a call, maybe solve the mystery for you.
Okay, what is the big deal with that station? Are they running some kind of a special promotion now or giving away a lot of money or?
No, nothing like that. I guess their major winning part is they got a pretty good morning show that's very comical. And
yeah, but that's not when they did real good in the morning. I mean, what did they do? They third in the morning. How do you like that? Behind Howard and behind Zeta. In fact, tied for second with Zeta. Castronova better look over his shoulder, man.
Well, as far as their afternoon show as well, it's the same. They're just a constant variety of Southside merengue.
Oh my God. Thanks for the bad news.
You're welcome.
Okay, spread
Have
the word.
Have a good day.
Okay, and you too. Well, there you go. It only took us an hour, as usual, here in this godforsaken thing. And was that difficult for him to tell us what the hell they play and what they do? No. But you just won't do it. You won't do it because you're a bunch of hard asses. You know something? If this was a real town already, I would have had 50 different forget about that, 50 different investment advisors calling in looking for my business. Seriously. Saying, we can sure do a lot better than that asshole over at your bank that's losing you all that money. He doesn't believe in tech. He believes in Drek. That's his thing. He'd rather give you Drek than the tech. The man living in he's still got the dinosaur bones laying around his desk there. The day that Matt left that bank, that was the day I should have walked right out. I'm telling you, that was the day I should have walked out the door. Oh, man. And here I thought Jews knew something about money. 10 after 11 at 560 WQAM.
Jim Mandich talks sports.
Yeah.
Right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
I've got 2 sets of lips.
Are you on edge, walking that fine line, back up against the wall, running on empty, trapped in the rat race, burning the candle at both ends? Feel like just another face in the crowd, lost in the shuffle, another cog in the wheel, a rung in the ladder, an unpopped kernel in a bag of microwave popcorn, treading water, running in place, stepping 1 step forward and 2 steps back, not realizing your full potential, not making the grade, not up to snuff, don't think you can make the final cut, going against the grain, feel like the odd man out, the black sheep, the third wheel, a thorn in the paw of your employer, butting heads, rubbing each other the wrong way?
Well, actually, no.
Oh, then never mind.
11:15 at 560 WQAM. So let me ask you, Neil, what did you do there in Amsterdam? Did you do anybody good? How big was it?
What's your typical day like?
Yeah, what was your day like? Like, what time did you get up in the morning? Did you eat breakfast?
What kind of toothpaste do they use?
And how about those beautiful waffles, those Belgian waffles that they got over there with the strawberries on top? I did have one of those, by the way, one night, about 1 in the morning. Yeah, because it's like a real city, you know. You can walk around. There's these different shops, and a lot of them stay open like real late till 2, 3 in the morning. And I got a Belgian waffle, and I took it back to my hotel room, and I ate it and watched some TV, and it was great.
Whipped cream?
Huh?
Whipped cream?
With whipped cream and strawberries. It was delicious. 5, 6, and I attacked it with a knife and fork. No, actually, I just attacked it with my puss. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I see nothing has changed here. Thank God for that. Same old rat race. Here's Tamarack. Hello. Tamarack.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Okay.
I just want to inform you about this hot new show on MTV with a bunch of young naked people running around on it.
Yeah.
It debuted last night. It's called Undressed. And
that's not a new show.
Yeah.
It's been on for ages. It's not a new show, and it didn't debut last night. I've seen it 1,000,000 times. It's not new.
Yeah, the show is called Undressed.
Sir, it's not new. Did you hear what I just said? It is not a new show.
So how come last night they said the world debut of the new show?
Beats the hell out of me because they lie a lot.
It's the one. It's like
maybe
soft
the
porn.
Premiere. Yeah.
It's like soft porn.
It's soft, all right.
For a year.
Oh, it has?
Been on for ages.
You're kidding.
Did it work for you?
Well, yeah, I got all excited last night.
Good. Okay, thank you. I'm happy for you. It worked for him.
Nobody's naked on there.
I've seen it. It's much ado about nothing. MTV blows. MTV is crap. Give us TMF, the Music Factory, baby. Give us that good stuff. Give us the Bloodhound Gang. Give us the real videos, not this chopped up, cleaned up. More porno on TV. That's what we need to see. 567-0560, pound. I don't know what to do with this crowd here today. It's a lost cause. Because they're out of material now. Danny, once Jimmy was gone, I left Danny, and now Danny's on the verge of being gone. There's nothing left. It's all done. Dried up like a big, gigantic raisin. Here's Fort Myers, speaking of that. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you were just saying about Georgie Bushy and the executions in Texas?
Yeah.
Well, I just got this up the internet off at MiamiHerald.com.
Yeah.
George Bush says, he's in St. Petersburg today, Jeb Bush says he has seen no evidence that Florida has put to death an innocent convict, so he will not be imposing a moratorium on executions like the Illinois governor did.
Yeah.
Ryan called that shameful. In Florida, 20 executions have been halted, 3 within 16 hours of being carried out after evidence surfaced that the condemned prisoners are wrongly.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to say these things because the American people are very angry and pissed off, and they're gung-ho for the death penalty, and they want to, put as many people on the frying pan as they possibly can, and you just can't say these things.
Well, yeah, I know.
They make a few mistakes along the way. Tough crap. They don't care. They're angry and they don't have any other way, any other solutions, and they don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it. So let's just execute a bunch of people.
And supposedly, like Florida, like Texas,
yeah,
has a very poor system of for public defenders because the majority of these guys on death row come from low-income areas who can't afford all these high-priced lawyers anyway. So aside from that, did you see these Oscar nominations?
No.
You interested in that?
No.
All right.
I haven't seen any of the movies, so why would I be interested in that?
All right. Well, listen, tonight Larry King's moderating the debates.
Okay. Thanks for the bad news. Will I be watching that?
Oi!
No. 567-0560. And by the way, thank God for that. The Leo DiCaprio movie is not doing as good as they thought it was. Why don't they just make him go away? Please. Just please go away. They keep showing the promos for that thing over and over, and he comes out of the water like a 15-pound. He must be related to Christina Aguilera. They must eat the same meals together or do whatever they're doing because they both weigh about 22 pounds soaking wet. Here's a mobile in Hallandale. Hello. Mobile in Hallandale.
Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Welcome back, sir. First time, long time. I got some material for you.
Yeah.
How about that FBI agent that killed those 2 black kids on 95? You hear about that?
What about him? What did I hear about that?
They gave him bail. They bailed him out. He's on the road.
Yeah.
You don't think that's ridiculous? Another example of why we live in a police state? No?
Here's our last call, a mobile in Miami. Hello. Mobile in Miami. Okay, that takes care of the show for today. Don't want to, overwork yourself on the first day back. That's it. That takes care of all the response we got from this town. This is, seriously, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the deadest, the most pathetic, the most useless place on the face of the earth. Bar none. That's it. 60 to 80 minutes. And it wasn't easy. 80 minutes. And what happened to all my music that was in here, by the way, from last Wednesday? From a week ago Wednesday.
What music?
Didn't I leave some CDs in here?
Oh, I think I stuck them in your cabinet.
Oh!
Like I said, we had to get everything all, piled up.
Because it's obvious I'm going to need it today. WQAM.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What the hell?
Okay, thank you. Excellent. That's your material. Go to hell. Got nothing to say about anything that's going on in the world, about anything that went on during the 10 days I was gone. How do you organize your plate when you go to the buffet? That's the kind of call you get from the South Florida audience. How do you organize your plate? How do you attack the buffet when you go there? How do I eat? Tell me how to eat. Tell me about that soft porn show on MTV that debuted last night, even though it's been on for a year. Tell me, was it soft enough for you? Was it hard enough? Or in between? And did you ever drive a semi? Oh my God, this is the pain is just unbelievable. Here's a lady in Lauderhill. Hello. Lady in Lauderhill.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Shelley. I'm a first-time caller. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good. I'm down in Florida about 22 years now. We've been listening to you for years.
Yeah, well, here I am.
I wanted to just tell you a little story. I was saving some money to buy some hockey tickets for my husband for Wednesday's game with the Rangers.
Uh-huh.
For Valentine's Day. But he's a big listener of QAM, and he heard Hank talk about his horse that won last Friday and the other one that was running on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
So he schlepped me down to Gulfstream Park on Sunday. Wanted to bet on Hank's horse, which he did. And I got so excited I put the money that I was saving on it too, and I think the horse is still running, Neil.
Uh-huh.
It came in like dead last. I was wondering if I can get tickets to the Panther games on Wednesday night.
You wonder if you could get them?
Yeah, if you can give them to me.
And where would I get those?
I don't know. Don't you have them?
No. Do I have them in my ass somewhere?
I hope not.
No.
Oh, okay. Well.
Did I say anything today about hockey tickets?
Did you? I don't know. I wasn't listening. I'm working.
You're not, so in other words, you're not even listening to the show.
Well, I listen on and off. I work in an office, so I have it tuned in.
So you just thought, like in the middle of the day, just spontaneously,
Yep.
you would pick up the phone,
right?
Have nothing to contribute, nothing to say to the show, but you asked me for hockey tickets.
Right. Only because I've been listening to you for 20 years already.
So therefore, I owe you hockey tickets?
You don't owe me anything. No, you don't owe me anything.
Have a nice day.
Too.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I rest my case. I mean, if this were like a case in court, I win hands down. Don't even have to send a jury out to deliberate. Hands down. The judge just bangs the gavel, award this man $50 million, and let's go on to the next thing. I mean, what are we talking about here? She wants frickin' hockey tickets. I got news for you, honey. Any game you want to see here this year before the playoffs start, plenty of tickets. Just call up Ticketmaster, call up the box office, call up anybody. Go out there and scalp some cheap before the game, even with the Rangers here tomorrow night. There'll be plenty of seats unsold. Here's a mobile in Deerfield Beach. Hello.
Neil God.
Yes, sir.
No more calls. No more calls. We just love hearing you.
Hearing me what?
Just talk. I mean, it was great when you did.
Sir, I'm not doing that anymore. I did that for 3 weeks. I'm not going to put myself in a hospital. I'm doing a show here with a phone. That's what this show is all about. It's a telephone talk show.
Unbelievable.
I'm not going to sit here and talk for 4 hours every day. Nobody in the history of the universe has ever done that.
Hey, your boy Andre Bocelli's coming to town.
Yeah, not my boy. Can't see my way clear to buy those tickets, and neither can he. And have a great day. Yeah, my boy Andrea Bocelli. You know who likes him? Greg Reed. Does that tell you everything you need to know?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man, he was in here this morning.
Yeah.
Woo! Ba-da-beep, ba-da-boop, ba-da-bop, ba-da-bop. Oh, yeah, and I placed my trust in some of the wrong people, and this and that, and Bob DeMuth is an asshole, or whatever he said, something like that. Isn't that what he said?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I'm sure that I heard him say that. Bob DeMuth was totally inept and a total asshole over there in Fort Myers. Boy. This has been special. This has been really special. Not just your ordinary pedestrian crap. This has been special crap. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's the most popular pickup line at a gay bar?
Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello. Mobile in North Miami.
Morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
A couple weeks ago, you were talking about that you had some problems with your innards and what have you. And everybody was calling in about colitis and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Some doctor was talking about your poop and how you're supposed to have floating turds, which kind of find that hard to believe. I keep thinking about that and just wondered if that's a reality.
What do you mean you find it hard to believe? Do yours sink?
Yeah, everything sinks, and that's what I don't understand.
Woo! I
have colitis myself.
Yeah.
But I haven't really had any
I'd
problems.
start wrapping up my affairs right now if I were you, sir.
Well, I thought, well, does anybody really have floating
I get
turds?
you a nice, absolutely. I get you one of those nice designer pine boxes, man. They're having a sale on them at Penny's this week. Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, bottoms up. Here's a guy, he said not only did they stink, but they sink. Is that incredible or what?
Uh-huh.
Let's get the sink and float lady on. That's perfect for this town. Yeah. Because one thing about this town, they may not know their Schmidt all the time, but every now and then when you least expect it, they really come up with some good Schmidt. 26 past 11 at 560. So let me ask you guys, how do you really attack the buffet when you go there?
Seriously. Usually you scream and then you just charge in there with your machete.
Like Monty Python, you just all go running in there, and just hop head first. Like Tom Green would do.
Let me see your war face.
Georgie Bush says that his nose is clean and never puts up in it.
'Cause he's running for the White House, so he just can't admit it.
Stone drunk, and that's not all. He even downed a few speedballs.
In college, any drug would do. He even dropped some acid too.
Why won't Georgie just come out and simply say he did it?
He prefers the press would shut their mouths.
But it's none of your goddamn business.
He did more than what you think.
But he washed it down the sink.
Does he prefer cocaine to hash?
That's a question that he does.
Can he make his point much clearer?
Like a razor on a mirror.
But he wants us to believe
that he didn't do anything.
Georgie Bush says that his nose is clean and never puts stuff in it 'cause he's running for the White House, so he just can't admit it. Georgie's clean, Georgie's clean, Georgie's clean.
All right. 11:31 at 560 WQAM. Here's a fax that ties right in with the calls we've had today. I think it's perfect. From Rudy Munoz, one of your people, no doubt. Says to Neil, you don't like it, but you're going to go back to the topics. We have lost interest in this show. Love you, a spick. Now, can you interpret that for me? Because it was written in spick talk. Can you interpret what that means?
I don't know.
You don't like it, but you're going back to the topics. We have lost interest in this show.
Well, he's still listening.
A spick. No, he's listening to Love 94.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because that was a spick, by the way. That was the Love 94 caller.
I guess, yeah. Hey, but the free lady was one of yours.
No, she was not.
She's an obnoxious New York
She has a husband. She's not
like Joan
she's not a
Withers.
dyke. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Don't be laying the Jews on my ass, mister. They kept showing his Seinfeld clips on the goddamn plane coming back. If that man isn't a walking ad for anti-Semitism, he's a male nanny is what he is. God. Just dripping with that New York Jewiness all over his puss. Man, where do they find people like him? Oh, but you have to watch that. Those shows were great. Yeah, right. Was he funny or what?
No.
All he need was a little schmata on his head, just like Spencer, what's his name? Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Did you see the Nightline last night with the religion?
No, I did not.
No. They got these people to come on there and say that the American people are mostly, or majority of which, are evangelical and religious.
No, that's not true.
I know, but they keep saying it like it's true.
Yeah.
The Bennetts and the Cal Thomases and the Ralph Reeds, it's just, they're trying to pollute the people. It's unbelievable.
Well, is that something new?
No, it's just...
That's the business that they're in. That's the business religion is in, is polluting the public's minds. That's what it's all about.
And they're...
Fairy tales.
And they got to
Stuff
take...
that was written by idiots thousands of years ago. Bubble-mices.
And they've got a takeover happening here.
What does that mean?
With Bush or Gore. One of the two.
Bush or Gore?
They're both evangelicals. They're both born again.
Yeah. And Gore, what is Gore's agenda? What does his political agenda have to do with the Christian right?
Well, his agenda is no big deal, but when push comes to shove, he's got this wacky belief. He had a it's not that I care. I'd rather have him than Bush, but he had this wacky conversion, he said, in his life.
Yeah, well, John Kennedy had this wacky religion, too. He was a Roman Catholic, and what difference did that make?
It's all the same. It doesn't matter what story you believe.
No, but it's not all the same. The difference is that if somebody gets elected to be the president and has that power and decides not to use it to try to impose those beliefs and in implementing whatever the hell laws they're going to be passed by Congress, that's the difference.
Yeah,
if you can't see it, how can you compare Al Gore with George W. when it comes to being a religious nut?
You can't. But
so then why did you say that?
Well,
I don't give a crap what fairy tales he wants to believe in, as long as you don't want to try to impose it on me.
Well, on the show last night, they talked about both being born again.
Yeah.
Both of them are. So, I mean, from that standpoint, they're the same. That they both had these conversions in their life.
Yeah.
Gore because of whatever.
Because he did too much coke, yeah.
Probably both because they did put too much coke.
How do you know that? Although Gore does have a bigger nose. Okay, have a great day, sir. Anybody have any idea what he said?
No. Also last night, Gore went out of his way to state very clearly that he believes in the separation of church and state.
That's my point. That's what I'm telling this guy. I don't give a crap what he wants to believe in or how he and Tipper want to, at least he won't have to worry about any blowjobs in the White House there.
And Bush wants to give tax dollars to religious institutions to do good work.
Right. Right. Bush is another shill for the political right, the Christian right, and keeps moving further and further to the right. And now that the Reform Party, which I started to mention before, is blowing themselves up over the weekend, maybe that Pat Buchanan vote won't be a factor after all, which they better get their act together again, because just to be on the safe side. Come on, Pat. Go, Pat. Do a little of that siphoning job for us. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Miami Beach. Hello. Miami Beach.
Morning, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Welcome back to the armpit of the United States, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we're not only killing kids out in Columbine. Did you read the paper today where 2 people got killed repossessed in a 1987 Chevy?
Yeah, George was just telling me about that before.
I couldn't believe that. Yeah, you got to read that article. I mean, and they had semi-automatic weapons, and the wheel fell off the car as they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we get the guns off the streets? I guess we can, huh?
Okay, thanks for the good news. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. See, I asked a very simple question at the beginning of the show today about this crack and black thing, what that's all about. And did I get any response to it?
No.
Did I get an answer?
No.
No, of course not, because nobody wants to talk about that. Because nobody wants to be perceived as being racist. I think it's just called being civilized. See, this business about, being like white people or being like whitey, I don't think that's got to do with it at all. I think that's the one word we'd be looking for, is being civilized, educated, respectful, obedient, lawful, etc., and so on. Especially the obedient part. Fine, so get you a black ass in the kitchen and get lunch ready. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a lady in Palm Beach. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back. I missed you last week.
Here I am.
I was away from the the radio for a few minutes. Did anybody call and fill you in on guiding light?
No.
Okay. Well, it's hard to capsulize what happened in a week, but basically what happened was Michelle's trial is going terrible, and if Vanessa doesn't wake up pretty soon, it looks like she's going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecution rested its case, so Ross is doing the defense. And he put a guy from the ice cream stand on yesterday.
Oh, boy.
And he said, he saw Michelle. He was sure.
Yeah.
And then the prosecutor got him to admit that he was lying. He didn't see her. And then Danny coerced him into saying that. And so after he came off the witness stand, Ross looked at Danny and said, "You just sealed Michelle's fate. She's going to prison." So that's not going very well. And then the other thing that happened yesterday was Edmund finally did his blackmail on Philip and showed him the video.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "If you don't make me the head of the company and give me everything I want." This is Beth's wedding day. She and Jim are about to get married.
Yeah.
At the Spalding Mansion. They're downstairs. They're getting ready to start the ceremony. And Philip tried to fire Edmund, and that's when he showed him the video.
That's when he whipped it out, and the video, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's really bad. Those are like the only 2 storylines right now.
Well, what about Richard and, what's her name, Cassie?
Oh, God. Well, I hate that part of the story. So silly.
Yeah.
Fairy princess,
Especially
right?
the measles part.
Yeah. Well, the doctor gave her a thorough examination and found out she may not be able to have more children. And when she found out, she's like, oh, my God, I can't give you an heir, and that's the only reason you're marrying me. We have to back out of the marriage. And no. And he says, no. He won't admit that he loves her.
Yeah.
And she won't admit that she loves him.
Yeah, it's another one of those scenes. All the soap operas do that. They make you so furious you want to scream,
Cat and mouse,
and yell, like, open up your ears and get with it.
Yeah, and then in the meanwhile, Edmund arranged for there to be a horrible explosion in some plant in San Cristobal, and all these people are injured, and he's trying to sabotage everything Richard's doing so he can take over the monarchy.
Just to aggravate the audience, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, how long have you been watching?
Forever.
Who would you say, of all the people that's on the show, I was thinking about this yesterday for some strange reason, you got a lot of time to kill on a plane. What actor or actress is the longest standing character on the show?
Who's on there now?
Right.
Maybe Ross or Vanessa?
Possible. What about Lillian?
Yeah, for somebody who doesn't have a storyline.
Right.
She goes back a long way. Yeah, Ross and Vanessa, Josh goes back a way.
Oh, I'll tell you who it is, though. Holly.
Oh, yeah. But
Holly.
she left for a while and came back.
Holly and Roger were like the original Roger, who's now dead, of course. They were on there for 100 years.
But Holly left for a while and came back, so I don't know if that counts.
How about Papa Bauer?
Oh, God, rest in peace.
Okay, have a great day, sweetheart.
Oh, wait a minute, one more thing.
Thanks for the update, yes.
Do you ever catch any part of that story that comes on before Guiding Light?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this real cute guy that's on there? His character's name is Christopher.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put my Christopher medal on right now.
Yeah, baby.
I'm going to squeeze it real tight. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know what the Christophers used to say? It only takes one little candle to burn a big hole in your rectum. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Jerry Lewis says women are only good for one thing, and that's making babies. And Janet Reno's pissed off.
The sports leader. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Get off your duff.
Down to the strip joint, fat man go. Get $1 in the dollar of a tattooed hole. He said, honey, got money for you. But when you get to me back into the private room, for a hand job, hand job, hand job, that man gets hand job. Take your clothes off, she insists. I'm gonna hold you down like a tuna fish. Picking up a big roll of his fat. And only by the smell can you tell where it's at. For a hand job, hand job, hand job, that man gets hand job. The girls used to handle his big fat guys. She know how to make the bald man cry. Fat man shakes with a shout in the house. Would leave the skid mark on the towel. Hand job, hand job, hand job. That man gets hand job.
So speaking of that, who were you telling me got suspended from our sales department last week? Couldn't have been Fat Boy, could it? 14 till noon at 560 WQAM. Here's a fact that says, I'm really upset at the fact that the Dade County school system is forcing every student to learn about black history. Students are ordered to make a report on a black person. Oh, I can make a report on lots of black folks that I just saw in Amsterdam. Black rhymes with crack. It says if it's black history, then let the black people learn about their own history. I don't recall the Jewish history being taught in school, or Cuban history, or any other group for that matter. How about a Hungarian history?
No.
Danish history?
No.
Dutch history?
No.
I feel each ethnic group should learn about their own heritage and history if they choose, but a specific group should not be imposed on other groups. My freedom of choice is being violated, said this anonymous faxer, who was pissed off and fired up about black history. Well, how much is there to learn besides, coming in chains from Africa and a bunch of lynchings and then crack, and what else? What did I leave out? Football.
Motown.
NBA. That pretty well covers it. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We got 2 lonely calls there on the board. We're not even at the halfway point here on what's going to be a long, arduous first day back from a wonderful vacation. So let me ask you, Neil, how was the weather over there? Was it like above 40? Was it below? How about in the nighttime, about 3 in the morning? How cold does it get? And how do you approach the buffet line over there when you step up to the big buffet in the sky? How do you approach it? That could have been the best call of all time. That was the best. The best. I mean, it's covered a lot of territory, a lot of idiots over the years, a lot of real morons, grade A, class, top of the list. But that's the best. How do you approach the buffet? What's your game plan? Actually, I do it kind of like a football coach, like Tom Landry is doing up there in the sky now. Poor Tom Landry with that hat. Never stole a freight train. Real good Christian guy. A little bit too good, too Christian for me. Wonder if he ever looked at Danny White naked in the locker room, Something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Tom Landry just died from leukemia, age 75 over the weekend. You think he ever, eyed Danny White when he was naked in the showers? Good Christian guy like Tom Landry with a wife. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
What were you asking about the blacks and crack? It's because that's where it's sold. Remember in The Godfather? Let them have their drugs or whatever the thing was?
What do you mean that's where it's sold?
Well, like in Weston and Coral Springs, I could drive around all night long, 2, 3 in the morning. I'm not going to find people out selling me crack in those neighborhoods.
Well, how come in Amsterdam, or this neighborhood, there are no black people who live there? And there are all black people selling crack.
And they're selling crack there as well.
Yes.
Maybe.
What do you mean? What do you mean as well?
No, it's just maybe. You're talking about blacks. Blacks.
Black people from the Netherlands, Antilles, Schwarzers, black darkies.
I guess it's just a distribution network.
Scummy Rasta people with bad hair who look like they haven't seen a bar of Coast in 25 years. Those are the people. Crack, coke bomb. That's their life. That's their existence.
Is it just the distribution network from where it starts to where it goes?
You're asking me?
No, I'm just saying.
Like I'm doing some kind of an investigative report on this?
No, I don't
the
know.
only place I wanted to go is far away from me. Get away from me. That's all I ask.
I hear you.
Get away from my ass.
One thing, David Duke, he's been on a couple of shows lately, and he's been talking about European Americans. Now, wouldn't that include most Jews?
Yeah.
But yet he makes that distinction now that it's European Americans,
he
not
says
white
European
people.
Americans except the Yidlach. Didn't you hear him say that?
Oh, except the Yidlach.
Right.
I hear you. And one last thing. Erwin Schiff, have you ever heard of this guy? The pay no taxes ever?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of him?
Yes.
Any thought?
Quack.
Quack, okay. Because he was saying, put 0 down because you don't show a profit.
Quack, 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 quack. If it looks like a duck, have a great day.
Wait, one last thing.
Yes.
McCain says he's going to outlaw abortions as well as any companies that make hangers.
Okay.
Bye.
And if she has an abortion, hang her. Well, they want more capital punishment here. They're pissed off. They want a lot of executions. Come on, let's start right now.
Oh!
Let's start with that guy that cost me all that money in my portfolio. Huh? Now, one call from any investment expert out there in this audience today. I got every dime I have in the world tied up with a man who I have absolutely zero confidence in. I mean, I can't even go into it. Just one mutual fund. This man cost me so much money. I can't even begin to tell you. And when people start screwing with your money, you start getting serious, You start really getting pissed off. How's Stan Major doing, by the way? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. What's that toll-free number? 877-785-6345. Yeah, where did that crack be coming from, that crack cocaine? Where did all them rocks come from? Bunch of white people come in there. The white devil, are they the people that done it?
Uh-huh.
Made them darkies go, yeah, that's right. The white devil with the horns, the horny white devils, they're the ones that bring in all them rocks and put those Rasta people out there in the streets to peddle that crap. Aren't they?
No.
Here's Boca. Hello. Boca, yes, sir.
Hey, you. Your phone test. How's it going?
Let's try Boynton Beach. Hello. Boynton Beach.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the reason I'm calling, you seem to brush over the fact about those two blacks that were killed by that FBI agent, and how both the Florida State Police and the FBI tried to cover it up.
Sir, I didn't brush over it. It's an old story. We talked about that at length. It's nothing to brush over, but why rehash it now? What else is there to say?
Well, more and more as it comes out how the FBI covered it up by moving him to a different hospital room, changing his name,
right,
so the press couldn't get at him.
Right. So is that something new, that the FBI is a corrupt institution? Ask J. Edgar Hoover. He'll tell you.
Well, I'm not talking about, I thought that Louis Freeh, though, was a much more honest type person.
Well,
and he hasn't uttered word one about that.
Well, maybe he's not. Did that ever dawn on you, sir, that maybe he's not? Maybe it is still the same corrupt institution that it was when J. Edgar Hoover was running it?
No, because I lived in Washington after the J. Edgar Hoover era.
Yeah.
And I knew some FBI agents, and I would have tried to trust them with anything.
Well, so you're talking about individuals. Let me say it again, sir. The institution is corrupt. And have a great day. Oh, my God. 5670560. Too many old people here, baby. Too many old, wrinkled-up people. Old. Crusty. Fart-smelling. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, still reeling from the loss yesterday at Panthers to Montreal there.
You're reeling from the loss?
Yeah, we got our asses kicked.
And, well, what do you mean you're reeling from it, though? I mean, it was a crappy game. I saw the game last night. I saw the Leafs get kicked their ass fourth in a row last night. They before the game is 2 minutes old, they're always down 2-3-0. It's a game. They're not doing well right now.
Take it.
But to say that you're reeling from it, don't you think that you're really a little exaggerating?
Okay,
just a little
I'm
bit
trying
much?
I was trying to use a little artistic flair there.
I mean, the team has got 71 frickin' points. They're in second place in the conference. They're the third best record in the whole goddamn league. Instead of accentuating the fact that they lost the game to a girls' team in Montreal last night, and that schmuck Jesse Belanger came back to bite the hand
Neil.
that once fed him, who cares?
Neil.
Yes.
Quick baseball question.
And would somebody please wake Rimmer up? Give him a wake-up call. Come on, Rimmer, stop whispering the game. What is it, sir?
Who got hit by more balls, Hank Aaron?
Okay. No, the question is who got hit in the face by more balls? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Not only have they got bad, old, stale material, they can't even deliver the lines right. Yeah, these people could never sell no cocaine. They can't deliver the goddamn lines right. Christ. He's still reeling from last night's loss to the Canadiens. He's reeling from it. Anybody believe that? Oh, God. The sports nerds. And by the way, now that football season's over, I hate to break the news to you, it's over. But what are those sports nerds going to do now? Once Danny finally makes that final announcement, and there will be a final announcement of some kind, if this man comes to his senses, then what? Yeah, good point. Oh, I got a headache from this place. Wow. If I could tell you how great I felt the last 10 days, like a new person, like born again. And now I'm back here in between opening up my mail and seeing that schmuck at my bank is losing my money faster than I can earn it. Like it's coming out of a Farrah faucet. Like it's going right down the toilet. This man wouldn't know an investment. If it crawled into his rectum, he still wouldn't recognize it. And then coming in here this morning and seeing we got this new interim phone, which seems to be working so far. Nothing wrong with the phone. It's what's on the phone. It's like what Harry Neal told me about the Leafs about 5 years ago. He said there's nothing wrong with the uniforms. It's the bodies that's in them. That's where the problem lies. Nice going, Harry. See, that's one thing about the Leafs. Mess with success. They must think they're in the radio business. Things were going too well. Let's get rid of all the fast young guys on here. Goodbye, Stevie Sullivan. Goodbye, Mike Johnson. Goodbye, all the real good young players. Let's get a bunch of old hacks on here. Don't get started on that crap again.
The Neil Rogers Show. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I got all this goddamn money.
and I live in a free house. I know my lips look kind of funny, like the ones on Cesar Romero's mouth. But I never won a Super Bowl. So should I stay or should I go? I have an intimate affection for my Demi-Tasse glass collection. Anything I want, I can afford it. But I want my lips to stay distorted. Should I satisfy my ego, or just call it quits and go? I just might move back to Pittsburgh. But only if they change the name to Lipsburg. And all those guys on sports talk radio, the ones with the fecal ring around their nose, they're saying everybody wants to know, will I stay or will I go?
Bye-bye, Danny. Good luck to you, okay? Get out of here. 1202 at 560 WQAM, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out-of-town line's been real quiet today. I think we had one Fort Myers call. Are we still on the air over there or what? Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Huh? 877-785-6345. Not that they own that line, but I mean, that's where you'd expect. Wouldn't you expect it from there? Fort Myers? Naples? 877-785-6345. Here's a mobile implantation. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Welcome back from your vacation. Sometimes you got some very ignorant callers.
No.
Like the guy who just called a while ago talking about the drugs and blacks. Coral Springs, you go into Coral Springs, they got so much drugs there. It's
Right,
unbelievable.
exactly. It's the Haven. It's like a shopping mart outside
Yeah.
tonight.
What is he talking about? In New York, in the Upper West Side, the people that buy drugs, the people that come in from New Jersey, Connecticut,
Right.
and there's a white upper middle class. What is he talking about?
White
Talking about black.
suburbia is where you get all the good stuff. That's right.
Absolutely. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And say hi to your dealer.
Bye-bye.
5670560. What do you say? Quite right. And pound 560 on the AT&T Wireless. I'm playing Blue by Eiffel 65. I played it first before anybody in America, months ahead, and you never even gave me credit for that, the old man.
I did so, you dick. I even did that last week when I talked about Bloodhound
All you
Gang.
talked about was Bloodhound Gang.
I said Bloodhound Gang, and sometimes he's
And all
something
that
like
fag
Blue.
music he plays all the time, like the
the other
Backstreet
crap
Boys
is
and 98
awful,
Degrees
terrible.
and Westlife, and you're full of
it's
crap.
awful. It's the
Westlife's
worst.
going to be very big here, by the way. You're full of crap.
Whatever. Still
this
no
is the
no
same
straight
man that
people
said
will
that the
listen to it.
Beach Boys were better than Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, they were.
That just on the face of it is
He never
so,
wrote nothing.
so ludicrous. We're not talking about whether he wrote anything or not. We're talking about his music that he sang, not what did he write.
It was better.
Oh, that just, on the face of it, it just insults my intelligence to hear you say that. Next, you're going to be telling me that the Beach Boys are better than Aerosmith. And he's the best part of this is, if we were on television, he's thinking about this one, okay?
Different stuff. Apples and oranges.
Yeah, real music as opposed to bubblegum, right. Just like Marvin Gaye and the Beach Boys. Real music as opposed to
Aerosmith used to play real music.
What?
They used to play real music.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This man doesn't know music. But then again, when Grandma used to keep pulling your wee-wee out when you were a little kid, you know what goes to your mind. It's hard to think too clearly.
That was a special treat.
Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Welcome back to paradise.
Sure.
How you doing?
Easy for you to say.
So what fund did you get tied up in, Keith, if I can ask?
I beg your pardon?
What fund did you get tied up into that you don't like?
Oh, it's the Netherlands Equifund. I was in the AIM.
Ooh.
I was in the AIM Europe Fund, which was doing what? Was doing great.
Not for but something came down with it, right? I know
What?
one of the guys in the fund got in trouble.
No, the AIM Europe Fund, it went from $16 up to $23.10. But the problem is that I was forced to liquidate it to get it's a long story, sir. You don't want to hear it. It's a long, sad story of incompetence by a guy who hustled me and has got all my money now in my bank, and my money is vanishing in front of my eyes.
Really, my guy's doing okay. I can't put a lot of money like you probably, but
that's not the point. Is it somebody that knows what he's doing? That's
Right.
the question. That's what I'm looking for. Please.
not a lot of
I'm
those.
desperate.
Not a lot of those.
No.
My guy's with Prudential, but I don't want to float his name out there. He's pretty good. So I made about 10% in a month, so it's not bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's
How'd you like to
retirement
lose
stuff.
$46,000 in a month?
Sorry, I can't Deal with that.
Don't you think I ought to be busy on 441 right now, cruising the pawn shops to find a good piece? Don't you think it's about time?
Yeah, make sure you get the serial number off of there, though.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah. The Right Equifund Netherlands Fund. Just because I want to live there someday, because I want to move there, does that mean that I should be investing in that little tiny market of theirs over there? It's got like about 6 points? No. This is a crazy person I'm dealing with. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Got 50,000 open lines, no waiting here today. On a bitterly disappointing response on my first day back. Did they call and say, hey, welcome back, Neil. Guess what happened while you were gone? I said, but a whole bunch of stuff. Did they do that? No, they call me up and ask me, how do I approach the buffet, the Chinese buffet?
How do you attack it?
How do I attack it? Well, first of all, I go get that old Chinese guy that's always hanging out with that Ralph, what's his name? The Karate Kid guy.
Macchio.
And the worst part of it is he's dead. Not Ralph Macchio, the old Chinese guy.
Pat Morita.
Pat Morita, he's dead. So you see, I can't even go see him and find out how you attack the Chinese buffet because he's dead.
He's Japanese.
He's turning Japanese? Pretty good for a dead guy. And Ralph Macchio, of course, he's got a wife, you know. Ralph Macchio, what is he, about 45 now? Here's a Plantation. Hello. You never look too macho to me. Plantation, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Uh-huh.
And thanks for telling like it is. Now, Neil, I can't articulate as well as you, but the thing that bothers me about the situation is Jesse Jackson and Maxine Waters are supposed to be the leaders of the black community. Who said that? Well, I mean, but where are their priorities when it comes to, standing up for different issues? Why can't they stand up for an issue like a black kid in high school who can't add 2 and 2, who can't speak, and when he gets out of high school, he has absolutely no idea what he's going to do.
Yeah, what he be going to do?
And then he falls into this pattern of just, he's lost, and that's it. They're gone forever.
Doing the crime and then doing the time, right.
Yes, where's the leadership?
That's the legacy of black America. There is no leadership. There's no black leadership, and there's no white leadership.
It's terrible. The same thing when you think about the African countries. I mean, not one African country that I read about is well-governed. All you read about is strife and killing.
Yeah.
And who would want to go to...
And all these barbarians impregnating the young girls because they think they'll get rid of their HIV that way, right?
Using hatchets.
the AIDS virus like crazy.
Using hatchets to kill other people.
Yeah.
Even South Africa...
They call them spear chuckers.
Well, even now South Africa, which is supposed to be, it was...
I read an article yesterday, I think it was also in that horrible Atlanta paper, about the culture clash between African Americans and Africans who come here to this country, and about how they're having a difficult time relating with each other, and how about African Americans here think that most of the countries over there are barbaric and these old ugly stereotypes. And I thought to myself, they're not stereotypes. That's exactly what they are.
Right.
They're all in the Stone Age.
Well, I just thought
They're talking about all these palatial places like in Algeria. They're talking about the money people, all the oil barons over there. That's not how the people in the jungles live.
There's absolutely no leadership in
That's not how the grassroots live. Believe me, I heard their midnight confessions. Which I got a great story here about a priest who's really a woman, by the way.
No, you're making it up.
No, I'm not. I got 10 pages off the internet. If things get a little bit slow soon. 5670560. Well, hey, listen, I'm doing the best I can. I feel great. I got some energy. I'm eating this crap from your buddy Peter Leonard, which he should only rot in hell. He's the one that made me sick in the first place, Peter Leonard. He has got to go. He has got to go. I'm not talking about leave. I'm just talking go. It's because he's eating too many of those candy bars. He is going? Or is it a secret and I shouldn't say it on the air? 10 minutes past noon at 560 WQAM.
Ay, Dios mío, esos carros.
I had a chick named Kay. One day she flew away to Tijuana where the moon is blue. The moon is blue. But with our right-wing censorship, there are words that mustn't slip. To truly tell you how I feel for Kay. So, if you see Kay in Tijuana, I'll see you in Tijuana too. Alright. Now if you see Kay, tell her I miss her each day, and the FCC won't let me sing this song I wrote today. Now if you see Kay, transmission. I'll be out in 90 days. Oh, if you CK in Tijuana, then I'll see you with Tijuana. Don't wanna go, but gotta see you with Tijuana too.
Yeah, that's the dedication to the FCC today, by the way. I should have played that right at the beginning. That's for our friends at the FCC, F-U-C-K. Isn't that what we just said? Anyway, it's 12:15 at 560 WQAM. Yeah, we can say the word penis on the air. We can maybe even say schlong, but we can't say dick. I want you to stop and think about this, about freedom of speech, because these people like George Will are always screaming, oh, freedom of speech, political campaign finance reform is really a free speech issue. Right. Asshole right-wingers like George Will trying to rationalize the fact that big business and special interests have controlled his party from the beginning of goddamn time since they stuck Abe Lincoln in a box, come up with this crap, like he's a great defender of free speech. But if we say dick on the air, is that a name or is that like, we can say Willie Horton, but can we say Willie?
No.
No. How about Woney?
No.
When Father Dennis Brennan, the longtime pastor of St. Margaret of Cortona Roman Catholic Church in Rotterdam Junction, New York, goes to his weekly trip to the grocery store, he looks unusual. The 5'8" balding Irish-born priest wears a dark full-length dress, an ill-fitting lady's white wig, and a silver necklace. Or is that necklace? He also sports a lady's shoulder bag. Obviously, Brennan, an Albany Diocese priest for 33 years, 16 of which has been spent as pastor of St. Margaret's, isn't quite what he used to be. What was that song? The old game Mary, she ain't what she used to be? In fact, Brennan, 65, is in the process of making history as the first priest in America to undergo a sex change operation. Oh! Let's hear it. His name is Dennis. He must know Denise Potvin because his new name he's listed as Denise J. Brennan on a newly issued New York State driver's license. Denise. Parishioners in this tattered old railroad settlement 5 miles west of Schenectady are not exactly pleased, nor is the Bishop of Albany. That's putting it mildly. At a time when the Catholic Church is reeling, are they reeling from that loss to Montreal last night?
No.
Oh, no, they're reeling from stories of priests who are gay, have AIDS, who are involved in improper relationships with young men. The incredible story of Father Brennan is one that the Albany Diocese could certainly have done without. Parishioners here first learned of the dramatic change in their pastor's attitude just a few weeks ago when Brennan, long seen as a straight-laced traditionalist, sent a remarkably candid and moving letter to several longtime parishioners. In the letter, he announced the start of what he called his personal journey. He then disclosed that he had been tormented by sexual conflicts for most of his life. He said he had only recently been diagnosed with an extreme condition of sexual ambivalence known as gender dysphoria. Wasn't that a Jewish thing, the dysphoria? It was determined that this condition began before birth, Brennan wrote to Faithful. It was never a matter of choice. I had always been conscious of my inner female gender, although I managed to hide it or bury it in his rectum, and the gender, too. Brennan then bluntly disclosed, I began on this past October 4th a period of living continuously 24 hours a day in and out of home as a female. This time of transition is required before undergoing sexual reassignment surgery. Michael Mastriolani, a St. Margaret's parishioner, longtime Brennan friend and recipient of Brennan's letter, is among many local churchgoers who say they feel betrayed. I've known this man for 20 years and we've been friends for many years, said Mastriolani, a Rotterdam Junction resident, a prominent local businessman. Dennis Brennan's been an asset to the Catholic Church all these years, but what he's doing now is against all our beliefs. A prominent Albany priest who learned of Brennan's decision from the Post had to take a seat before we could openly discuss his reaction. He had to take a seat. Rectum. Probably an altar boy's. I'm just stunned, said the priest who has known Brennan for more than 2 decades. He was a very conservative guy, always considered very much from the word of the tight concept of what the priesthood was all about. The tight concept, as in they like him young and they like him tight. Rectum. Yeah. So there you go. There's a little bit of that story. Save the rest for later, for after lunch. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a Mobile in Stewart. Hello. Mobile in Stewart. Okay. Oh, and look at that. We got 2 mobiles in Stewart back to back. Now, what are the odds on that? Are they sitting there like side by side? Here's another mobile in Stewart. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm down here on vacation from Philadelphia. I listen to you on the internet all the time.
Yes, sir.
And I'll tell you one thing, the Beezer, he couldn't stop a beach ball from the red line. He's got to go. He's terrible. He's done. Why don't we just
Sir,
bring him
let
for
me ask
Dan
you something.
Marino?
What does that have to do with what I'm talking about here today, with anything? Well, why do we care about him?
Well, you were raving about him last year when I was down here because he was hot. He had all those shutouts back to back.
I was raving about him in the playoffs against the Leafs when he let all those greasy goals in. I said, "Nice going there, Beezer." That's what I was raving about him.
Now, pal. He's no better than he was.
Sir, with all due respect, we don't care. Okay, we don't care about Philadelphia. Do we care about Philadelphia?
No.
No, not at all. Bunch of rowdy assholes. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, with the exception of my good friend Ron from Philadelphia, who's a good guy. But other than him, trying to think. How about the paramedic? What was the guy's name? The paramedic from Philadelphia, whatever his name was. The paramedic from back in IOD days. Jesus, is your Alzheimer's kicking in again, mister? The paramedic that used to slide up and down the grease the pole.
Memory like you
well,
do.
I sure did. Here's a Mobile and Kendall. Hello. Mobile and Kendall.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you back.
Uh-huh.
This investor of yours, I think he needs to have a visit paid to him by Mr. Luca Brazzi.
Yeah.
Or you might need to dirt nap him yourself.
Yeah.
And
dirt nap him.
Yeah, dirt nap him. Yeah. It sounds like it's going to get worse than better.
Yeah.
Okay, Neil.
Is that it? Is that the advice?
Yes, that's
okay.
the advice.
Okay, take two and I'll call you in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. He's going to dirt nap him. There's a new one for you. Out of town line is waiting on you, 877-785. If we had one meaningful response to my quest for somebody that's got a financial advisor out there, a financial planner that knows something. We had the one guy that was like on the borderline, tiptoeing around, said something about Prudential Securities, didn't want to give me the guy's name, or who knows. That was it. That was it. As the search goes on in his town for somebody who knows something. I realize that's a pretty radical idea, a wild concept. Somebody who knows something. Isn't just another Bullshit artist of which we have an epidemic. Here's a Mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Good.
Is this Neil?
Sounds like me.
Hey, Neil. John. How you doing?
Okay, John.
Check it out. You're talking about a financial advisor?
Yeah.
There's so many things people don't know about stockbrokers. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's financial advisors.
They're like used car salesmen.
Exactly. I'm a partner in a hedge fund. Okay, last month we did 6%. The month before we did 7%. Last 4 months we did over 28%. I mean, these guys are getting rich in stocks. What the thing is with commissions and everything, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to get paid on performance, not just get paid.
Yeah.
You get rich in stocks, an eighth, a quarter, a half a dollar. You're buying it at the ask, they're buying it at the bid, and you're getting screwed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line. What does it do?
Yeah.
All it does is cost you in the bottom line. I mean, bottom line for me, being a manager of a hedge fund, what do we do?
You know, for the last several years, I had because I know nothing. I'll be the first one to admit I know nothing about the market, and I've made my own choices, and I made a couple of bad ones and some very good ones, and I was doing a million times better. I mean, I was doing pretty good for a guy that knows nothing.
You're 100% correct.
And all of a sudden, I get involved with this guy, and he gives me a bill of goods, and they call me from my bank, and, this guy wants to meet with you, and he gives this whole prospectus, and he's got all these numbers down, and it all looks real great. And now, all of a sudden, here we are. What I went through just in transferring my retirement fund from Smith Barney to this guy, the amount of money that I lost in the process because he was inept and couldn't make them give him the money, is mind-boggling. Plus, now on top of that, look at my statements, and it's like this man is costing me my life.
The guy's a midget.
Yeah.
Bottom line. I mean, the guy is a real midget because, first of all,
this is a man who doesn't believe in tech stocks, okay? This is at a time when the NASDAQ is going through the roof. Tech stocks are the only things that are going good this year, and this is a man who doesn't believe in it. He believes in the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, but, does your broker tell you about shorting stocks when they're at their highs? I mean, look at Yahoo. You're talking Yahoo at $500 has come down consistently, split the other day, and it's down another 8 points today.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about shorting stocks. Brokers don't know this. They don't go to a special school. Believe me, a guy at Prudential, wherever, I worked on Wall Street. And one thing I do know, that all it is a hard sale game. It's a boiler room.
Yeah,
Because you're
that's
pushing
exactly
stocks,
right, a boiler
you're
room.
pushing stocks for the company so the big clients get out. In the hedge fund situation, I get paid on performance and performance alone. I get 20% of your profit every month. But if I take $1,000 and make you $200, let's say $1,200 at the end of the month, and I take off for you $40, do I deserve it?
No.
You don't think so?
Say it again.
I'm making you 20%, and
Oh, yeah,
I'm
if you're making me
20%
20%, sure, you bet.
Huh?
I was looking at the market. I wasn't paying attention to what you said. The Nasdaq's in the toilet.
Oh, of course, today, but that's the thing. I'm short in stocks today. I'm
Yeah.
looking to make the
I'm
profit.
short today too. Okay, thanks a lot, pal, and good luck to you. Hedge this. What do you say? Something about his hedgehog? The Dow's up 47 points, the Nasdaq's down 110, which I get tired of watching this crap because. And how many times have I said that? Even when Ted David calls in, and he admits it. They get a dozen different guys on there on CNBC, and they tell you a dozen different things. They don't know what they're talking about. All they're talking about is doing transactions. That's what they're talking about, because every time they do a transaction, they take a piece. They take a slice. Like going into a goddamn Domino's place. They take another slice. They haven't got any idea what they're talking about. In the meantime, they're taking all the money. You've worked your brains out. You fought the good fight for 100 frickin' years, and now you're hoping to retire someday, maybe soon. And you trust them, you put all your money in the hands of these grave robbers, and it's like, well, bada beep, bada boop, bada boop. Yeah, they got stories. They always got stories. SEI funds. Anybody in this audience know anything about SEI mutual funds? Because I'm going to tell you something about SE. They suck. 26 past noon at 560 WQAM.
Kim Bokamper talks
All
sports
right.
weekends right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
All right. Don't you love Bill Bradley?
No.
Don't we need Bill Bradley?
No.
He's more than 6 feet tall. Played pro basketball.
Boy!
Don't you love Bill Bradley? Yeah, we need him badly. He's gonna win the race.
No.
People love him 'cause he isn't Albert Gore.
Yeah.
Did I mention that he isn't Albert Gore? He played for the Knicks. He doesn't bore us sick. Yeah, we love him 'cause he isn't Albert Gore. Not Al Gore. Not Al Gore. Not Al Gore. Yeah, he's not Al Gore. I'll say it one time more. We love Bill a lot. Mostly 'cause he's not boring Albert Gore. Well, don't you love Bill Bradley?
No.
Don't you love Bill Bradley?
He's old. He's just old and stale. 1232 at 560 WQAM. I don't mean old in age terms. It's just boring, you know. Al Gore is boring in a more exciting way. 5670560, pound 560 on the 18. Well, he is. They're both boring, but Al Gore is, at least he's got a little fire in his veins, you know, a little blood. And the only problem is that every time he tries to act demonstrative, he makes a fool out of himself, you know. He becomes even more wooden. Here's a mobile in Fort Myers. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Like, next you're going to be telling me the Beach Boys are better than the Doors, and I'm really going to get upset.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Thank God. Yes, sir.
You should take all your money and put it into American Century Funds, Ultra.
All of my money and put it in one basket, huh?
That's it. 35% over the last 20 years of the fund.
What's the name of it?
American Century, and it's the Ultra Fund.
American Century?
Yep, Ultra.
Ultra Fund, yeah.
Go to Morningstar.com.
You know something? Morningstar should only croak, okay? I've had money in more 5-star rated funds from Morningstar. It means nothing, okay? That and 45 cents will buy about a half a cup of coffee.
But do you go to the 10-year analysis?
No,
Anything
I never
that's
get
proven,
that far.
anything's proven 10 or 20 years, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you got something. These new funds that come out that are rated strong, they mean nothing.
Right.
but something that's been around 20 years and is in the top 10. You know,
Okay.
I'd say check it out, Neil.
I'm going to check it out today.
And Tom Green's going to have Monica Lewinsky on. What do you think of that?
Okay. Thanks a lot, pal.
Bye-bye.
And where's he going to stick that stogie?
Rectum.
5670560. American. See, now I'm going to start getting all kinds of advice, which is okay because I asked for it, but it's got to be better than what I'm going through right now with this wild man. Oh, well, he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that, and Smith Barney told him the moon is green with purple cheese on it, and bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bob. In the meantime, I'm losing all of this money, and well, what kind of crap is this? How could all of us be so stupid and gullible to handle all of our hard-earned life savings over to some stranger? Some stranger. Here you go. Here's my money. I believe you. Some stranger who just happens to have a Jewish last name. Big stinking deal, okay? So did my uncle Muggsy Solomon, had a Jewish last name, and he was a bookie. I wouldn't have trusted him with 50 cents. He was a good guy, but don't give it to him. He'll lose it at the track. In fact, you know something? I could have had a better time with that 46 grand, even though it's only on paper, thank God. But I could have had can you imagine the time I could have had in Vegas and at Pompano Park with 46 grand?
Could have played all day.
Yeah.
And half the next.
God. Or can you imagine what I could have done with 46 grand in Amsterdam?
No, why don't you, how do you attack Amsterdam when you get?
I attack anybody I want. And usually with great success. You'd be shocked. 5670560, pound 560 on the air. What, can you describe it to us? Yeah, okay. Draw us a picture. Draw us a pornograph, please. We're so bored and we have such a terminal life here in this town, which you already know. Yes, I do. Too bad. My advice is get out of it every now and then. Here's Pompano. Hello. Pompano.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't have an answer to your financial problem.
That's good. That'll get boring. I don't want to get into that again.
But I do want to thank you. A few years ago, I started Allied Health School, and I kind of can't tell you which one it was, but you changed my position on legalized abortion and also on forced sterilization.
Right.
I worked in one of the community hospitals here, and every single day I saw abused kids and these crack-headed parents coming in. And it was unbelievable. And I learned the hard way. I should listen to you before. I just want to tell you there was an article in Scientific American. It's called Legalized Abortion and Crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about how legalized abortion has decreased this crime wave at the FBI. You know, the FBI statistics have gone down.
Yeah.
And it just, I just wanted to thank you that you changed my views. And actually, after reading and looking up some of these things, you were absolutely right.
And, John McCain is starting to look more like Joan Crawford every single day. They both hated those wire hangers. Have a great day, pal.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations. There's a guy that opened up his eyes and his ears and got a brain. Instead of listening to all this right-wing religious crap, this swill, this garbage. And by the way, take a look at Northern Ireland again. How about that peace treaty, huh? Take a look at the Middle East again. How about that peace treaty? How many years have I been telling you the same thing? And it all comes because of the same crap, religious fanaticism, lunatics, crazy people, killing each other. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Where's Mario Cuomo when we need him? Mario, you're a good Italian boy from Sicilia. We need you now, sweetheart. We need a leader. We need somebody who's articulate, somebody with a personality, somebody with an IQ, somebody we can respect, somebody with a brain, somebody whose wife knows how to make a good bowl of pasta. That's what we need. Not these boring turd burgers we got running now. God. Yeah, like that. He's all heart is what I hear. See, never trust a white guy that played a black man's sport. 22 before 1 at 560 WQAM.
The sports leader.
We love the leader.
Sports Radio 560. QAM.
I want to bang you in the butt, honey.
Tonight on ABC, it's Who Wants to Be a White Supremacist Millionaire? Okay, here's your question. If you see a black man running down the street, he will be carrying A, an Olympic torch, B, a relay baton, or C, a TV set. What is your answer? It's the game show where ordinary right-wing extremists can win millions to fund the overthrow of the government. Who wants to be a white supremacist millionaire? Tonight on ABC.
18 till 1 at 560 WQAM. I think John Rocker may have had a point or two when he come right down to it. 5670560, pound 560. And isn't that unbelievable? Just unbelievable that this guy, that there's even a chance that this guy still might be suspended. When the hell are we going to find out about that? Very soon, I guess. Just incredible, because the guy is a bigot and he was stupid enough to open up his mouth and express the way he really feels about stuff, huh? Too bad. Bud Selig, man, you're a moron. You're a bubblehead. You're a simpleton. You're a jackass. And now that they come up, what was the latest one? It was the Junior Griffey thing, that bogus deal with Cincinnati, because he wants to play with Daddy, where Daddy used to play and where Daddy's the coach, and and all this other crap. That's it. Won't be no more baseball games coming on my TV set this year. Down to hockey. I'm just down to my hockey, and you know something? That's we'll see. Another couple of years, I think that's going to be ancient history, too. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Are you hearing the same music that I'm hearing?
No.
No? I feel like Carl Wilson, only he's still alive. I can hear music. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Neil.
Yes, I am.
I have a book for you to read about investing. It's called The Motley Fool's Guide to Investing.
Yeah.
I'm in a 38% tax bracket, and there's way too many experts out. Right, there's way too many experts out there that want to.
What's the 38% tax bracket? I know there's a 39.6%.
Well, that's with my income I make. With my income, I basically pay 38% income tax.
There is no such bracket, but anyway.
Well,
39.6.
Well, 39.6.
Yeah, but why argue over a point and a half?
Yeah. But anyway, Motley Fool's Guide to Investing. It's about two brothers. They talk a lot about the S&P 500. They're not big on mutual funds, and it's
almost everything I have is in bonds and mutual funds. I have no individual stocks anymore, and I'm psychotic about it. I hate mutual funds.
Well, I'll tell you, if you read about it, if you just took the 5 top stocks in the S&P 500, this past, over the years, they bring in a better return than mutual funds. The average mutual fund was 11%. This year, so we took all of them, and the Motley Fools. It's an interesting book. And you don't have to be an MBA in finance to read it.
Okay.
And they're not promising you're going to be a millionaire, but they basically give you good, sound advice. And they talk a lot about getting out of the mutual funds.
Good. Okay, that's for me. Thanks a lot.
All right.
I'll go out and get it 2 days. What do you say, Motley Crew? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Marion Motley used to play for the Cleveland Browns. Big fullback. Marion Motley?
No.
No. Otto Graham, Donnie Lavelli. Anybody that old out there?
No.
Here on Sports Talk, 5670560, pound 560 on it. I'm just pounding away here, pounding away with these numbers. And I'm thinking to myself, this Gentner that we got in here, this interim phone system, this seems to be working fine, at least today. I mean, one day doesn't make a lifetime, but it seems to be working fine one day. And I'm thinking to myself, why did I have to go through all of the stress and the angst and the IBS and the SBS and the SPCA and the bullshit of the last year in this room because of the fact that George Corso is a simpleton who's an underling to a schmuck over there by the name of Bob the Mute. Which Greg Reed this morning told me Bob the Mute's a major flaming asshole. That's what he said. He said he smells like Schmidt. That's what he told me. Right to my puss. And because of the fact that the Beasleys are so cheap, such a bunch of penny-pinching pricks, we've had to contend with this crap. And you know something? It doesn't even have to do with cheap. They were afraid it might cost them something. If somebody puts a system into your office or your business or your home and it's defective, if it's their equipment, they got to replace it for free. What a concept. But they're paranoid because, it might cost us some money, which we don't have. And boy, I sure wish it wasn't the quiet period. You have no idea because, that too. Here's a mobile in Lake Worth. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Neil?
Yes, I am.
Three comments. First of all, the Wall Street Journal used to have a contest where a monkey threw a dart.
The Wall Street Journal is a right-wing rag, but anyway, go ahead.
I agree, but they had a monkey throw the darts at the Journal at the beginning of the year, and then they had the top analysts compete against them, and the monkey usually won.
I believe that.
Secondly, the first 6 letters in brokerage are broker, and that's what they make you.
Right.
And the last thing is the first 4 letters in analyst are anal, which is what they do.
Rectum.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you one thing. That's what he did to my portfolio, to my investments. He wrecked them.
Absolutely. Listen,
Rectum. Hell, it damn near killed him.
Keep plugging away. You're great.
Okay, thank you.
Ciao.
You're broke, but you're great. $46,000 on paper in 1 month. And this guy that called before, well, what fund was it? And I'm telling him the Right Netherlands Equifund or whatever. He never heard of that. And no matter what I would have said, he said, oh, my God, yeah, like he knows what that is. Nobody knows what that is. I was just over there. They don't know what that is. In the Netherlands, they never heard of that. They said, that's not the right fund. It's a Chinese fund. It's the wrong fund for you, baby, because it's in the toilet. It's in the crapper. Here, Europe is going through the roof. The DAX and the footsie. And leave it to the British to be playing footsie with each other over there. Although I did meet a very interesting British young man whose parents are from the Philippines, but I won't talk about that on the air, will I? Maybe tomorrow. 5670560 #5. You know, it's really always bizarre when you meet somebody who's ethnically, like when you meet Chinese people who speak German, or you go to Germany and you meet in Berlin, there you see black people speaking German. It's culture shock. It's like here, you know, if you run into black people in the convenience store actually speaking English. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, how are you?
Great.
It's nice to hear from you.
And it's, whatever.
Listen, 2 things. How about the Herald? Whatever happened to the Herald as a newspaper and in-depth investigative journalism? The other day, for example, this Elian issue, which I didn't want to mention the name.
Oh.
But the New York Times, the New Times, all the newspapers, they all publish all the information. We get nothing for them.
Crap.
Now, that's what the Herald is. It's a pile of
crap.
crap.
Well,
Yeah.
they are really sold out. The second thing is, why do we have to go through this gay rights ordinance when these are basic constitutional rights that the gay community is entitled to?
Right.
What is the problem with that in this community?
Because the gay people have to be a scapegoat. I mean, every now and then it's the Jews, and then it's the blacks, now it's the fags. We have to be a scapegoat for right-wing religious, pious people.
Unbelievable. Hey, thank God you're back, and please, don't leave till I die.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, we'll buy you a box. Don't leave till he dies. Well, I guess he's on the edge. Listen, I'm telling you, if this phone would ring, this would be okay, even in spite of these people. If we get a response, it's too much work to try to make you people say something. March 1st, 2 short weeks from now. What day is that of the week? 22nd. What day is going to be? And don't call up people and have them call in like I told you. Don't ever do that again. Wednesday, 2 weeks from today, from tomorrow, whatever. I have no idea what day it is. 2 weeks from tomorrow, March 1st, it'll be 24 years. I've been on 24 years on the air in this town. Just had the worst rating book I've had in years and years and years because all the sports nerds, I guess, got the diaries, although Hank did good. Hank did pretty good with that Cecil Collins crap. I guess a lot of people had a good sense of humor for that. You know, he was just looking around, taking a look. He just wanted to get his wick dip. They like that. But, and you know something, who cares? What difference does it make? You know, when you're basically doing something that's obviously dying out anyway, look at Rick and Spud. They can't break a 1 share. They're on that station with 50,000 watts. Look at the great Phil Henry with those, with those Phil Henry tapes.
Are you sure?
I mean, and you know something? I never thought let's look at night, 7 to midnight, when he's on live. Maybe he's doing a number in there. Persons 2554, 7 to midnight. Maybe Pete Bolger actually has got some kind of a story on here. Huh? 7 to midnight. I'm looking. Yeah. Tied with us. One from a 0.8 to a 1.9. Tied with QAM. Whatever crap we got at night. Oh, sorry, Ed. The gambling show. So there you go. People want to listen to Phil Henry. They're listening at night. They got a 1.9. Nice going there, Pete. 5670560, #560 on the AT&T wireless. What I'm starting to say is that basically, I mean, you know, I should be the last one to admit this, but I don't care. I don't really care. I'm not like a fledgling starting out who's got another 20 years to go. This is passé. What I do is passé. Once upon a time, it was a lot of fun. We had W Snooze, we had INZ, we had Zeta. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But this is passé. Because nobody here's got anything to say anymore. The only people that call us on a regular basis are people we don't ever want to hear from again. You know the ones I'm talking about, like, and, yeah, the ones that have pretty much vanished, and then, of course, yeah, too.
Don't forget him.
And then the guy with the... Here's a mobile in Delray Beach. Hello. Mobile in Delray Beach.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Long time, first time.
All right.
Hey, American Century. I've been with them for about 9 or 10 years, just a slipper, but I'm telling you, it's a home run.
Really?
Big time. 30-some% return last year, and I think the guy was right. Over the last 10 years, probably in the 30s.
This is the Ultra Fund?
Yeah, I'm in the Ultra. All their funds are doing well, but I mean, the Ultra seems to be really doing well.
Yeah.
Strong numbers. You can't go wrong. You can't look at them all. There's too many. Take a couple of good ones and look at them hard. And
now, are these load funds or are these no load?
No load.
No load?
Schlepper like me can't afford loads.
That's right.
Yeah, no loads, believe me. Fidelity's good, too. I got a little bit with Fidelity. Fidelity's been great.
I'm on it as of today.
All right, get on it.
Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. See ya.
He said no loads.
Squirt.
567-0560, pound 560 on you. Not if Ken Jenny can have anything to say about it. No loads, baby. And not if the FCC has got anything to say. You know, I was thinking, well, that 6 weeks I went through with my IBS, which I know was terminal and nobody wants to talk about bowel movements and intestines and kishkis anymore, although a lot of people share that common problem. Stress, by the way, stress. But here the FCC, a bunch of fuddy-duddies that nobody ever voted for, by the way. Nobody ever elected them. They're all appointed. And they just arbitrarily sit around in a room, a bunch of these old farts, and they just pick and choose what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, what's indecent, what's not indecent. And as far as this business of excretory activity, I mean, the sex thing we do understand. They're a bunch of prudes, and obviously in America, if it's got anything to do with sex or body parts that have to do with sex, even peripherally, it's obscene. You can't say it, you can't do it, you can't think about it. But excretory activity, what's the one thing besides the air that we breathe that's the strongest common denominator among all human beings? Excretory, not blood. There are different blood types. Maybe they're different Schmidt types. I don't know.
That article you read said there was.
But seriously, here's something that we all have in common. No, it's not a wonderful thing, although I guess when you live in Sunrise, you're old enough. It's a machaya. It's a great thing. Yeah, that's what my mother says, and she's in Hollywood. She said, oh, it's great. Yeah. But it's something we share. And the FCC sits up there and they decide, oh, you can't talk about that on the radio because it's indecent speech. My effing ass, it's indecent speech. And the American public is conditioned to accept this crap. Because some bunch of assholes up there in Washington sat around and decided what we can talk about and what we can't talk about because children might hear it. Well, guess what? Children do it a lot. Infants do it. Too much. Oh, but it's indecent. It's disgusting. It brings down the level of dialogue. It brings down the level of dialogue to reality. To the real world, as opposed to the put your hand over your ear and intone for the audience crap, which is their idea of broadcasting, which is nothing but bullshit. And all my fellow broadcasters out there, all you guys with balls the size of ball bearings, BBs, shame on you. Because this is nothing but a goddamn whore business. That's all it is. And finding anybody with an original thought or anybody with some balls out there to do something different, you might as well be looking for a needle in a haystack. And especially now with this new deal where they got 10 companies that run the whole goddamn industry. You don't want to work for these guys because they're a bunch of cheap pricks and they're a bunch of assholes. And they make your life miserable. What choice you got? Go across the street and work for the guys that are even cheaper and less competent, if that's possible. And that's it, because they own every goddamn station in town. Or, of course, there's always the other alternative. You can always go and work for Cox.
Suck my dick.
Can I say that? Oh, there's Joe Costello just came in, I guess, to take over last hour of the show. We're going to do an auto racing show today. Well, no, 4 hours on the first day back's too much. It's too heavy. Auto racing, swinging, and Cubans. And what was the other thing you said he talks about?
Religion.
Oh, and religion, yeah. Let's bash some religion. God damn it. 12:56 at 560 WQAM. Amsterdam was great, Joe, by the way. There was some really good stuff there, some really good Schmidt. Want some crack?
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Oh boy, it's the 1 to 2 hour.
People exchange all of their presents when they get cufflinks and cheer pets. No one wants fashion purchased at Walmart. Grab your receipt and stand in line to exchange underwear made out of mesh. Just exchange a new CD from John Tesh. Just exchange, please exchange, go exchange.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. People exchange their stupid presents. Your mother-in-law just gave you a mop. They bought you a small butt. You're 6'7". They got you balls, but you don't play golf. Go exchange a basket of imported cheese. Go exchange a coffee mug that says Louise. When you're changed, go exchange. Please exchange.
Yeah, exchange Leo DiCaprio for a real person, okay? Please, they're showing that promo on Much Music again here, and all of a sudden I'm having, again. And I haven't eaten today. I was very good today, wasn't I? I didn't even eat any of the sandwiches from, that's because of the stress. These are the people that put the stress and the BS into IBS. These are the wannabeesleys, and I can't talk about that. But in 25 days, I will. Don't do it. 5670, and didn't I warn these people, by the way, here in the building, even though I can't talk about what it is I'm talking about? I said, don't do it. Don't be suckers. Don't get sucked in. Of course, who the hell am I to talk? I got that broker that, what's his name? Oh, man. You know how angry you have to be to call somebody's voicemail at midnight and just leave a screaming, hysterical message? I mean, apoplectic message on their voicemail? Here's Cooper City. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How the hell are you?
Pretty good.
Welcome back. Listen, I'm kind of like you, Greek with the investments, but I kind of learned by peck and, hunt and peck.
Hunt and pecker, yeah.
Yep. But listen, you ever read the Wade Cook books?
Wade Cook?
Well, Wade Cook / books. He's got some good books out there. I'm kind of like you. I blew off using any investment, and I've done very, I'm no millionaire, but I mean, I'm up like since maybe 30% in the last year.
Not bad.
And what I do is just hunt around, you get your friends or whatever that may, not to give you picks, like if people give you advice, I always just track it on paper first before you, go ahead, you got your computer, you can figure it out and deal with it. But I used to have the mutual funds like yourself, and what the worst part is what I'm finding is if you have whatever growth in income and like the market takes a dump 200 points, you're out, $2,000, whatever the percentage is, at least I'm noticing when I'm holding stocks, if I'm watching that every day, I'm not taking the hits as I was. So I basically kept 2 or 3 good mutual funds, Janus and maybe one Fidelity, and I started loading up on, other stocks, maybe 5 or 6, but I watch it. And not to be greedy, but, I kind of go like in and out all the time. If I make $500 or $600 a week, pop it out, look for something else.
Pop it in, pop it out.
And for you liking gambling, it's kind of like a game. But, you can always stop.
See, but it's not. It shouldn't be a game.
Not a game, but what I'm saying
it is gambling, and you're right about that, but it shouldn't be a game.
Well, let's just say, I'll give you an example. Like there was a stock it's like a pharmaceutical stock. It was at $30 last week. Buy 200 shares. Today it went up to 35. I dump it, so to speak, make you $500-$600.
Yeah.
Look for something else. And with the mutual funds, you're handcuffed because a lot of them have. If you deposit, you got to wait 6 months, or there's a charge to get out.
Right.
You should definitely, if you do it, no load at all, no load funds.
I had 2 really good mutual funds. I had the Dreyfus Appreciation Fund, which was doing sensational and has done even much better. And I also had that AIM Europe Fund, which has gone up from $16 to $23 a share in just a few months. And I had to get rid of both of them so I could, consolidate. I could liquidate all of these holdings and put all the money together for this schmuck that's got all my stuff right now. And the amount of money that I've lost from getting rid of my great funds and going into these SEI funds is so staggering that I really would like to take a hatchet and at least chop his desk up this afternoon.
Well, I do agree with you that, the last callers were saying that, when people give you picks like that, they're just in to make their commission or whatever. And, that's fine. But, it is, like I said, when you're dealing with your money and you're watching it go right out the window that you're working hard for. But You know, what I'm just finding is if you
and especially when somebody approaches it with the idea that they're going to be fairly conservative, because I don't have another 20 years to work, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're going to be really conservative and not, go out on a limb with any wild stuff and stay away from the tech stocks, which in my opinion is a bad mistake, but nevertheless. And then to be conservative, what if this guy would have been wildly speculative last month? I would have lost $460,000 instead of $46,000. What kind of a lunatic am I dealing with here?
Well, you definitely deal with a lot more income than I am, but I will tell you that, I mean, I got some money from, I left the company, and they kind of gave it all to me, and I kind of was kind of in the dark. I started reading some books, and the last year I kind of really started picking up a little bit. And I just go on the computer, maybe once an hour to see where things at. But if I see something starting to slide and I'm up, so to speak, I'll get rid of it and just keep searching.
Well, you're gambling, you know.
It's not.
Which is okay.
Maybe, well, you could say it.
Don't say it's not. It is.
Okay. Of course, yeah. But the stock market is always driven by news. Somebody has a new product, a new thing. But I will tell you one stock, if you want to watch, it's called Cree. And
called what?
CREE. It's
Cree?
high right now, but it's gone up 25% in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a great little company.
I'm going to tell you something that'll make you vomit, okay? Somebody gave me Puma when it was an IPO. This was a few months ago. It opened it. I could have bought it at 4.
The sneaker company, Puma?
Puma.
Athletic wear?
Puma.
Okay.
On the national.
What the National Felon League has on their jerseys?
Whatever it is.
Okay.
I don't even know what the hell it is. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Puma stock.
Okay, fine.
Opened at 4. It went up to 142.
Right.
Did I buy it?
No.
Have a great day. 56705. What? It went from 4 to 142. Are you ready for that? So what is that? 30? 30 times, if you put in $30,000, that gives you $900,000 back. Even George could have handled that. And he would have given them the stiff arm salute here. I don't know what you're worried about. The day that I walk out of here, you'll move right in here and take
Oh,
over.
yeah, sure.
Not. You better bone up on your sports, mister. 5670560, pound 560. Ask Joe. He'll tell you. He's an auto. You pick a specialty like golf would be good. You get your own show in here doing golf.
I think curling.
Curling would be excellent, especially at this time of day. And get to know my good friend Sandra Schmurler, the Canadian curler. She's the best. How you doing, Sandra? How's it going, eh? How about those burning leaves, huh? I don't want to get started talking about that. I'll get really depressed. Boy. Don't know a good thing when you got it going, do you there, Bill Waters and Pat Quinn and Ken Dryden? You had a good thing going there. It was a little bit too good, eh? Start tinkering around, sticking up the joint. Wendell Clark, Darcy Tucker, all these old hacks screw up our great team. That'll teach you to trade away my boys, Stevie Sullivan and Mike Johnson. You bastards, you. It's the only time in history, before the game actually starts, they're already down 2-0. That's how bad they are lately. 8 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM.
Ed Kaplan knows the scores. Starting at 10 till the last game ends. Weeknights only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Want a lollipop, little boy?
Hello, suckers. My name is Columba. I got off the plane after shopping in France to put your money away. I bought designer clothes, expensive baubles and jewels, and knew in advance the duty tax was due. I tried very hard to smuggle, and they wouldn't let me buy. But I did not get in trouble, 'cause I'm the governor's wife. Yes, I'm just obedient wife who wants to live up my life with special favors. After all, my husband's brother will soon be your dictator. I'm like Dora the Vida. I buy anything I need and just one thing more. I'll be just Christian family values when I get back from the store.
You could get more.
113 at 560 QM. What is this schmutz I'm getting all over myself in here? Boy, this is a...
glue?
Is that what it is?
From the gloves.
Oh, from the glove?
Is it like powdery?
No. Anyway, here's a fax. 8 million of these, of course, have been sent out. Oh, look at this. He even got the words of the songs that we were fined by the FCC. David Caton, Florida Family Association, writes to one of our sponsors. This form letter, June 17, 1999. I'm writing you this letter because your company advertises on the Rogers Show, WQAM 560, a radio station in Miami, Florida, which broadcasts sexually explicit programs involving bondage, homosexuality, etc. I've enclosed the transcript and a sample cassette recording of some of the Neil Rogers show, etc. and so on. I hope you'll agree that Neil Rogers' sexually explicit program on QAM is an inappropriate form to promote your company's products and good name. Please call or write us to let us know if you plan to continue to advertise during the Neil Rogers show on WQAM. I look forward to your response so I can share your company's position with our constituency. Sincerely, David E. Caton, President of the Florida, the FIST, what is that association? Here's the response from this businessman, by the way. It says, have the little one change the radio dial and make sure he doesn't find your guns. Nice going there, sir. God bless you. That's the response they get from all of our sponsors, but they keep plugging away. And the FCC, as Tom Jickett points out, in their infinite wisdom, turning the clock back 100 years, never coming into the 21st century. They never came into the 20th, so why should they come into this one? Oh, yeah, everything, we got these dirty things that you're playing, and you're saying this and yeah, right. F you. F you, CC. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We got some open lines here today. It's been a real battle the first day back. That's the way it always is. A real struggle. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Never been to Amsterdam, but I'm planning to go this year.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a really neat McDonald's there.
Oh, thank you.
Not.
Censorship pisses me off.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Nobody else gives a crap about it. Not in this audience. They don't care.
The ultimate fight against that was that South Park movie. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I'll tell you that it's gigantic over there in Amsterdam.
What a riot! You got to see it just for kicks.
Okay.
And listen,
I saw the clips from it.
It's worth seeing. It's not too long. My neighbor's kids had the foulest. I got kids from all over the place. Every black, white, whatever, and they have the foulest mouths, age 6 through 12. These kids are cursing like maniacs.
Jesus, are you f***ing kidding me?
You know where they're getting it from, but at the same time, there has to be some kind of in-between with the parents.
But what difference does it make where they're getting from? Does anybody... Here we got 2 more high school kids got killed in Columbine out there over the weekend. 2 more kids got shot and killed, and people are worried about words.
Yeah. Well, they don't really...
And then they found out also this weekend that the two lunatics, Harris and Klebold, that they had 1,000 times the bunch of the bombs and all the stuff that they had. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's only a miracle they didn't blow the whole school up.
Yeah, all the gasoline and that.
Unbelievable. And they're worried about words. Yeah, kids are going to get hurt by words and by descriptions of excretory activity.
Yeah, no, the words don't hurt me. I mean, but the kids shouldn't be screaming around. I mean, there should be some kind of at that age at least. But
well, what age are you talking about? 3 or 4?
Well, between maybe 6, 10. Whatever they are, running around out there screwing up.
You go to hell and you die.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go see it.
Listen, Neil.
Let me ask you also. Anybody see the Matt Damon movie?
No.
Mr. Ripley?
No, sir.
Okay.
Neil, have you had any dealings with Merrill Lynch?
No.
I've got a guy's name and phone number for you that I really trust and have done very well with. If you'd like to put me off the air, I'll give it to George.
Thanks a minute. Hang on. Okay, add on line 6. Add his Merrill Lynch guy to our list there. We got a growing list. It's like the old Johnny Carson TV show. Who do you trust? I don't know. I don't know when you're dealing with your whole life savings. Who do you? He's on line 6. Who do you hand it over to and say, okay, just don't lose too much of it. Try to make me a few bucks. I'm not looking for 25, 30, 40%. I don't have unrealistic expectations. At this stage of my goddamn life, I'd be happy with 10%. 10 stinking %. Just don't lose it. And I got a guy, a schmuck, 5'6", 7. Oh, man. I'd like to take a meat axe and just go into his office this afternoon and just, no physical harm to him yet. Not yet. I'd take another 20,000. I think that'll do it. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'd like to talk about radio for a minute. Can you tell me, does the FCC, are they the ones responsible for deregulating the radio situation?
Yes. Yes, they are.
It's another mark against them. It's obvious by this market with, with Clear Channel. Are you aware of what's happened over the last couple of months with the WJNO,
Sure.
WBT?
Sure. Everything they touch, they destroy. It's like a search and destroy mission that they're on. Everything they touch, they turn into, they make it vanish. Whatever you like, that goes away.
Exactly. And the only good thing that's come out of it is that when you're listening to Henry at night,
yeah,
you can't pick it up on that Abomination 940. At least you can go to 1040 and hear it clearly. That's the only thing. But
right.
everything, but just it's evidenced by all the simulcasting. I mean, 940, 1040. 4 or 5 times during the day, the same program is on.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Incredible. And this is the FCC's idea. Well, it's like all these mega mergers that are going on. You know, this is the same government that's all pissed off with Bill Gates, the same government that talks antitrust this, antitrust that. But in the meantime, there's like, I said this before I went on vacation, and it's even worse now. 20 companies are going to own the whole world.
Right.
In another 40, 50 years.
I used to think that trying to break up Microsoft was a good thing, but you realize how many jobs that one man has created with what he's done? He's created an industry that's just made this economy boom.
But I'm not buying Windows 2000.
No, of course not. But I mean, you don't rush out to get it. I mean,
no.
One other thing I wanted to mention.
Not like Windows 95 when they were running out in the store. Was it 95 or 90? Which one?
95 was the big one they ran after, and then 98 was sort of anticlimactic, even though it's a
95, they were in Texas where they put them on sale first. They were standing in line at midnight to buy the damn crap.
Exactly. I've been meaning to talk to you about this for a long time, way back when Hannibal came out, the book, and you got some negative feedback from some of your listeners. There's some things in that book that I just thought you might like to know about that are kind of ironic relative to you, and that is that, first of all, Thomas Harris does live in this area.
Mm-hmm.
He's a resident. And there's a passage in the book where it describes Hannibal Lecter flying back to the United States from overseas.
Yeah.
And he's disguised as a Canadian tourist. And he's wearing a hockey jersey. And the team is the Maple Leafs. The other thing is there's a passage from his book where he talks about things that you've mentioned in some of your shows.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, well, relative to God and man. And it basically says that Lecter hadn't been bothered by any considerations of deity other than to recognize how his own modest predations paled beside those of God, who is in irony matchless and in wanton malice beyond measure.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that maybe...
That's what they say in the Chinese buffets, too. He's in wonton malice.
Yeah, maybe Thomas Harris is a listener.
Because that's the way I generally approach my tactic. Okay, listen, have a great day.
You too.
God bless us.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
5670560. Nice tongue action there. Well, why do you think they call him Dick? 5670560 #5. So we can't say Dick on the air. That's right. We can't say Dick. We can say all these other words. Let's start, laying it right out there on the line for you and let you know what we can say and what we can't say in the land of the free. Free my ass. Free my big fat effing ass. What? No, that was a plea.
Free from what?
That's a plea. Free my effing ass. Free from the FCC. From a bunch of censoring, doddering old assholes that won't let us speak and entertain like adults. Everything we do has to be geared toward little children. Oh, the children might hear it. The children might see it. I'll guarantee you, just like that Channel 10 thing that they're promoting the hell out of because it's Sweeps Week, your kids are watching more stuff on the Internet right now than they're ever going to hear on the radio. Here's Delray Beach. Hello. Delray Beach.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about Phil's show, or what once was Phil's show.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I used to listen to it from 9 to 10, before you came on. I'd never miss your show.
Right, of course.
And I swear for 3 days in a row, I heard the same hour. The same hour that was on the day before, they had it on 3 days in a row.
Oh, brother.
Now this is, I've heard you talk about Bulger. I never knew he could be such an asshole.
He is.
It's like, how can you mess up a wet dream? But he did it.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you something about the stock market. I don't know much about it, but when interest rates are starting to creep up just a little bit,
yeah,
you should get out. You should get out and put your money somewhere. And then when they start to come back,
under a mattress,
bury it in the backyard.
Dow's up 112 points. Oh! NASDAQ's down 78. Well, we don't care about those tech people because I don't have any of that. Not to sound insensitive, but I don't care.
But if you watch the market now, because interest rates are starting to go up a little,
yeah,
I mean, it'll spike up and down. But over the period of time where the interest rates are going up, it'll be level.
Yeah.
And if you want to be safe with your money, just put it in like an index 500 fund that invests in everything. And I also want to say something about this John Rocker thing. All I've heard about is John Rocker. He's a bad guy. What about Ray Lewis? What about Caruth?
Ray Caruth, yeah.
These people murder people.
Right.
You don't hear Jesse Jackson saying anything about them.
Right.
All you hear is about John Rocker. Did he kill anybody? He just spoke his mind, and he's being castigated for that.
He's being castrated for it, right.
Yeah. I got one other thing
He can pitch on my team anytime he wants.
I got one other thing to say to all the black people out there.
Yes.
you're listening to one of the most liberal-minded people that ever lived, Neil Rogers.
Right.
And I've heard you change, and I've changed. I'm a little emotional about this. And I've changed over the past year myself.
Yeah.
And once you black people, I'm talking you black people.
You black darkies out there.
Once you alienate people like me and Neil Rogers, you've lost everything. You've lost everything.
You've lost that love and feeling.
The next step is race war, buddy. And it's going to come to that. It's going to come to that. I hate to say it.
In fact, Joe Costello on his Saturday morning show, he's going to be having that race war show this Saturday.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun.
Okay, calm down.
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah, lighten up.
About IBS.
Yes.
Your doctors brought this on you by taking your gallbladder out and loading you up with antibiotics.
My gallbladder's been out for 9 or 10 years.
Yeah, but you can't digest fat right without
Stress.
your gallbladder.
Sir, you're right. Let me say it again because I didn't mention it today. The book, I believe this, it's like my Bible now. 20 and 30, Fat and Fiber Diet Plan by Gabe Merkin and Barry Fox. It's a paperback, yellow cover. Trust me when I tell you, low fat, high fiber, it's a miracle.
Yeah, well, my Bible is The Zone. And I know you're not.
Not for me.
Well, you should sit down and read it again.
Not for
the
me.
kind of fats he tells you to eat are good fats.
No.
Which are the kind you got to have.
No. Have a great day.
All right, bye.
Calm down. 567, what do you say about those darkies? Something like that. No, it's true. It's a fight that I'm losing. I'm losing my battle, and especially as much as I love Amsterdam, and I will live there someday, hopefully very soon. But it's just the thing with the Rasta people, with the drugs, and I mean, it doesn't faze me in the least. There are all those shops. It's fun watching the young people go in there. The smart shop there with the mushrooms and the herb and weed and all the cafes. It doesn't faze me. I'm not interested in it. It doesn't appeal to me, and it doesn't bother me one way or the other. It has no influence in my life. But these scumbags, these slime balls, these seedy, grotesque, smelly, smarmy, subhuman cretins wandering up and down the streets there. Go, crack, go, crack. Why not? Why not? I'm not interested, man. Get lost. Take a hike. Get a brain.
Anybody can look at you and see you're not a crack user.
26 after 1 at 560. Yeah, I look like a real coke guy, don't I? Yeah. With this big puppet hanging out. I only gained 3 pounds, by the way. I'm pretty proud of myself. That's not bad after all that I have lost. I'm still under 190 on my friendly scale. I'm real excited about that. Oh! 26 after 1 at 560 WQAM.
We're not living on that fine on the ride that I've been driving with today. Now it's a classic set of wheels fixed up the way a brother would like it. Now if the clean the china and the trim is gold anodized under my seats, I got a can of liquid cherries, yo. Oh, baby. Coconut colada smelling cherry machine cruising through. Oh, baby. Shiny little smelly little velvet machine. Hey, baby. Check me out when I cruise by on Tuesday afternoon. I've been smelling so sweet like a giant strawberry. And you know, I got that absolute cocktail. If you look closely, you can tell I heard the performance in automobile by my crowd in the back seat. Took the suspension out, so I bounced down the road in a Fifth Daddy Superflyway. A little hard to stop, no big deal, so they'll get around and fixing the brakes. A 1979 Bone for Catalina, she's sure looking fine now. It's my baby Cadillac. Oh, baby. Rush the Lawrence cereal, be sexy to me. Oh, baby. Coconut colada, cherry machine. Oh, baby. Shiny little, smelly little, velvet machine.
132 at 560 WQAM 5670560. You know that guy at the bank?
I want to go out there and break that guy's neck.
Yeah, I think I'm going to work on that this afternoon. I'm going to take Luca Brazzi and Sonny Santino. He'd be good over there. Here's a call from Boulder Junction with 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, open line on the out of town line, 877-785-6345. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you.
I was calling because I heard you talking a little while ago about how you had gone through some discomfort with your stomach problem.
Yeah.
I have a product here I thought you might be interested in. It's called Nature's Simple Solution. It's a rectal deodorizing lotion.
The rectal deodorizing lotion.
Absolutely.
Huh? Well, my suggestion is 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Pompano. Hello. Pompano.
Yeah, hello.
Well, why is everybody so slow today? Is it me? Am I ahead of you guys, or are you just slow? Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Petey from Pompano.
Yeah, okay, Pee-wee. Go pop it. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line 877-785-6345. Absolutely amazing. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I hate to break the news to you, but nobody gives a flying schmidt about how much money you've lost.
Yeah.
And next time you come back from Amsterdam,
See, it's really interesting with the tone in the voice and the hostility, but the fact is that you're listening. And if nobody cared about it, we would have had 8 million people already calling in off the air with names of brokers and all the investment advisors and so on. So if you don't care, my suggestion is listen to something else or find a life, but you're not going to do either one. You're not going to be doing either one. You're boring, you're ponderous, you're depressing. 877-785-6345. This is South Florida, baby. We got so many people just like that.
Welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home. That's right. Make sure that you know that you're home. If you're not interested in what I'm talking about, if nobody in the world cares, then nobody will listen. I'm looking here at the numbers. We had a bad book. We're still by a very wide margin, by the way. Number one, men 25-54. This is our target demographic. Was anybody else on the station number one in their demo?
No.
No, they were not. Even though we were going in two different directions since it was the dolphin book, the fall book, the football book, call it whatever you want. But nevertheless, was anybody else on this radio station number one in their demo, in any demo in their time slot? No. In fact, in men 25-54, isn't it interesting how the station overall was number 4? Now, we did our part with a 7.4 share, which means probably about an 8 between 10 and 2. We did our part to lift up the overall number for the station so that everybody could make that secondary bonus that, we got for the whole station number. Did we make it? No. So maybe there are other things that nobody's interested in hearing about, okay, sir? Like Danny this and Danny that and Jimmy this and Jimmy that and Danny. Like maybe people don't give a crap about that unless they have no lives, unless they're very, very narrow people. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm honored to follow such a great many winners there. You got a lot of winners calling you today.
Mm-hmm.
But I was spurred to call because I've been over to Amsterdam twice in the past year. I was actually over there for Millennium. And you're right about what you say over there. People over there are quite different than here. No one's uptight. They think Americans are a bunch of uptight assholes. That's their quote. Anyway, it's a great city. And actually my friend's moving over there. He fell in, well, I don't know if he fell in love, but he found some hot Amsterdam babe.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know, where did you stay when you go over there?
In a hotel.
In a hotel?
Yeah.
We stayed at the Hilton in Apollon.
I beg your pardon?
At the Hilton in Apollon?
No.
Have you stayed there? No. Yeah, it's and you're right about the guys on the bridge in the red light district, all the guys selling the heroin and the coke and ecstasy, supposedly.
Very sad.
Very, very
sad, and getting worse by the minute.
Yeah, it's amazing, but what's really amazing over there is with everything being legal, or supposedly.
But it's not legal. Cocaine is not legal. Heroin is certainly not legal.
Well, the hard drugs aren't legal, but everything else is, and everyone's drinking. A lot of people are drinking and partying. The Dutch people are drinking quite a bit. And you don't see too much violence over there.
I don't see any violence.
We were over there for Millennium, and it was obviously packed, and there was hours and hours of fireworks going off. The Dutch people love their fireworks. And I didn't see one incident, which is amazing. I mean, you go to a Dolphin game, you go to a sporting event here, you see 10 fights, in one quarter. So, what's that tell you?
They save it for their soccer games. Okay, have a great day.
Hey, you too, Neil.
God bless you. I'll still believe. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. 877-785. Yeah, next time you come back from Amsterdam, and nobody cares about how much money you lost, and but you're listening. Don't you understand, sir, that if there's anybody out there in the audience that recognizes your voice, they're thinking to themselves, he's an asshole. Oh, God. You're making a conscious choice, not only to listen, but for the umpteenth millionth time to call and give me a lecture. Do I have a flying interest in your lecture?
No.
Does anybody else in the world care?
No.
No. And what time is your show on, by the way, sir? with all your interesting material, all your great subject matter, which I had a fax about the days that I was gone and saying that George was fine, but the callers were grotesque. So evidently, even you've chased away those handful of pseudo-intellectual callers that you had once upon a time, allegedly.
Why do you keep accusing me of that? Just because Andy was
it's
Jeff
a
Moss?
joke. Boy, you're very uptight about that because Andy Moss, that asshole, called and said it that day that, you know, you bring out those bright callers.
I'd settle for some pseudo-intellectual callers.
I'd settle for some living and breathing people is what I'd settle for. We've had a few. Don't want to overdo it on the first day back. Next time I come back from Amsterdam, though, I'm going to go to the Chinese buffet. Yeah, I'm going to.
So how do you?
We'll do a remote there. I'm going to show you how you attack it. Or we can go to McDonald's and just have a Big Mac attack. How's that sound? Yeah, you just sneak up on it, and then you put it in your mouth and you chomp on it. And the sandwich, too. And then, of course, Grandma says, okay, I've seen enough.
Do you come at it from behind?
No comment. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I got my strategy. You stick to yours. And then Joe Costello's got his. I love this piece of copy. It's obvious. You know, you can always tell when somebody's leaving, you know, when they don't service their accounts.
Wake up with the first team, Joe Rose, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein. Weekday mornings at 6, only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
New York Times.
Hello, I'm Lowry Mays.
And I'm Bill Kennard, chairman of the FCC.
We're here to thank all of you for not paying attention to anything we do.
And I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mays, for all the women. I've had my share of whores, but you outdid yourself by sending Mariah Carey.
My pleasure, Bill.
Oh, and that bottle of wine
Yes?
you left on my car seat.
Don't mention it, Bill. Why, without your help, Clear Channel Corporation couldn't have assimilated every radio station in the country. Now, why not tell everyone the exciting news about the new FCC?
It's kind of hard this way.
You can take your tongue out now.
Well, from this point on, the Communications Act of 1936 is no longer valid, and the Federal Communications Commission will now be known as Friends of Clear Channel.
But you still can't say doo-doo on the air, right, Bill?
Whatever you say, Mr. Mays.
Say, how about another one of them satellites?
Certainly, and, say hi to Willie.
Wipe your mouth, boy.
Okay, it's 144 at 560 WQAM, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi, how's it going?
Great.
Listen, it's funny, first of all, that a guy would call you talking about his racial holy war and, you know, a homosexual Jewish guy is probably not high on the Aryan nation's most wanted list as far as new recruits are going to go. Anyway, listen, it's also funny that you should be talking about freedom in a country, you know, where if you just turn around and, you know, you were just at somewhere, I think that was a lot freer than we are in most regards.
Yes.
And even if you turn on media from, like, a country like, say, Spain, you know, I mean, they sure cuss an awful lot in Spanish.
And lots of nudity, 8, 9 o'clock at night, right on over-the-air channels, all kinds of nudity and porno and all. And whatever you want to see, it's there.
Right on. So,
because they're not uptight about the human body, and they're not living in the Stone Age.
My question is, I mean, is the more advanced and more, you know, free a country gets, you know, more restricted, and I mean, does it protect the rights not to be violated more than it protects the rights to be, you know, free to say whatever you effing want to say?
What does that mean? What kind of a convoluted question is that? What are you getting at?
It means that I think more people are being hurt protecting freedom of speech than there are just going ahead and letting people say whatever they want to say on the air.
Well, how are they protecting freedom of speech by not letting us say what we want to say? Have a great day, sir. Call me back when you can express yourself. Wow. Was that Al Kelly? Uh-huh. Had to be. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. That guy confused me there.
Mm-hmm. He didn't have any idea what he was talking about.
I don't think so. Welcome home. Just curious, I know you're in the quiet period, but Hank seems to be able to talk about it all he wants to. He spent about 15 minutes talking about it.
Why is that? I got a memo right here from the Beasleys that we're not allowed to talk about it.
I know.
Under the penalty of death.
Well, they didn't come out and say that it was the Beasleys, but these like, oh yeah, you know what's going on in here and whatever. Hang on to the show and talk to him when he comes on. And the first 15 minutes of the show yesterday, they were yammering about how he's losing money on it already.
Well, let me just, because it doesn't say not for broadcast, let me just read you one thing. It says, during this time, this quiet period continues for a period of 25 days from yesterday's pricing. This is dated February the 11th, okay? So that means into March. So evidently either Hank didn't get a copy of this, or he didn't read it, or he just doesn't give a flying crap, but that's up to him, and you discuss it with him. Don't do it. 5, 6, 7, and didn't I warn everybody in this building, don't do it? Didn't I say that? Did you do it?
No, I think we're the only two.
Yeah, good. So at least there's one thing I made a good financial choice. Now, if I can just take care of that Jew guy. 567-0560, pound 560 on you. Here is the greatest fax, perhaps, in the history of the fax machine. From Ken in Miami Lakes. It says, "Hi, Neil. Welcome back. Hope your trip was relaxing and enjoyable. Too bad you had to come back to this place. Why? Here comes the capper. While you were away, nothing happened." All right, Ken. Nice going there, sweetheart. Oh! Yeah. While you were away, nothing happened. And of course, that's obvious. And I always make the same mistake. I go away for a long weekend. I go away on vacation for 9 or 10 days, and I come back. And something monumental, something spectacular happened besides those old abuelas reached into Elian's pantalones and whipped his little dinger, whatever it is. I mean, how could anybody, how crude, how low, what kind of scum do you have to be biting a little kid on the tongue, to be biting anybody on the tongue for that matter, unless they want to be bitten on the tongue? Are you sure it was the tongue that they bit? Maybe they had it backwards. Yeah, maybe they just wanted to see if his tongue got any bigger, and they bit on his, yeah, maybe that was what it was. Maybe that's called a Cuban circumcision. Yeah, that's the way they do it.
If they
sure,
do.
And of course you do realize now that the family priest is going to have to come in to check for teeth marks. Oh, absolutely. Father Jose, can you see what they did to me? Oh, man. I mean, we're talking about supposedly sane, intelligent people here, adults. And what they did, they haven't seen him for 2 months, and they came over here to try to bring him back to Daddy, this wonderful rescue. Well, one way or the other, they're fighting back and forth, these trashy, scummy, low-life, 10th world people who surrounded themselves on both sides with the worst scumbag politicians in the history of mankind. They all deserve each other. They should rot in hell. Rhymes with Marielle. And what do? They get alone in a room, and you wonder why the nun was hanging out outside?
And why she spoke out against him and why the kid was all disturbed afterwards?
Yeah. And I got news for her. It wasn't just the cell phone she reached in her and grabbed, is what I'm hearing. And put back in its proper slot. Crazy people. Just absolutely crazy. Your people, by the way, every time you use that expression, your people,
Not those people.
Woo! I mean, from the Stone Age.
Get that Jewish lady to call back and ask for more tickets.
Hey, I got news for her. I'll take 50,000 of her. At least she ain't going to pull down my zipper and check my... And by the way, sweetheart, it's still just as small as it was before the trip. Only a lot more used. 10 before 2 at 560 WQAM.
Decriminalize pot in Florida.
Just one marijuana cigarette can cause memory loss and paranoia. Just one joint will drive you to madness. It will make you pluck out your eyeballs just to see what's under the dresser. The world as you know it will cease to exist. You will enter alternate realities, like being trampled to death by fat, imperious Jamaican women. In fact, scientific studies have shown that marijuana causes polio and will make your balls shrivel up into tiny little BBs. Smoking marijuana will make you die. Really? You gotta believe us. We have to say things like that. Oh, and sex is bad, too. This message paid for by the Partners Against Fun in America.
Okay, 154 at 560 QM. We got Hank coming up in the studio at 2 o'clock. He'll be talking about that thing we can't talk about for a couple of hours. And then we got the Boogster at 6 o'clock tonight. Big fat Boog Shambi. Going to be in here with his little Chris, what's his name? What was her name? Can you believe that? For just a second, I had a brain fart. I forgot what Chris Moron's name was. With his Chris Moore blow-up doll. And then 10 o'clock, we got Eddie Kaplan. So let's see. 4 times 2 says 6, 12 or 6, 7 with 7. Extrapolating things here, okay? 4. Yeah, we had a 4. We did better in December. If we would have taken the October out of that fall book, we'd have been just A-okay. But the bottom line is, men 2554, we made the bonus. Even if that bonehead in Boca doesn't care, if anybody cares, if we made the bonus, we care. And we got it and you don't, okay, asshole? And probably my bonus for the book will be more than that schmuck makes all year, so to you, okay? Loser. Here's a lady in Miami. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. 2 things. Number 1, stocks is very simple. You buy low and sell high and low. That's it. That's all you need to know. Yeah, hold on to them until they go back up and you sell them. If they stay low, just hold on to them.
Yeah, you already said that, yeah.
Okay. Number 2, the reason you're so unhappy is because this should all be Everglades. And there's too many damn people here and we're all congested. And
Who said I'm unhappy?
Well, you're passionate. I guess that's the same thing.
Passionate is the same as unhappy?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go out and hug some manatees for you. She must know Carl Hyson. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Still got 4 minutes to kill here today. And boy, kill is the operative word. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
Ken in Miami Lakes was right. Nothing new happened while you were gone until a half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Which is the reason for my call.
Okay.
Get your fart cart ready. You're going to need it. Exactly. Neil, I've been wanting to lose some weight.
You farted?
Well, no.
Here's a bulletin. This gentleman just farted. Big news in South Florida.
No, Neil, it was much worse than that. It was like your auto accident that you had. I needed to lose some weight. I don't eat meat, so I can't do Atkins. So I decided to do a little...
I pooped my pants.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
The evidence is right now in a Nations Bank bathroom garbage store.
Perfect. A great spot for it, man. They know their Schmidt at Nations Bank. In fact, I think that's their middle name.
You know how you go to pee sometimes? You pee too hard. And
right. That's
it
right.
Goes,
that's right. Oh, and that's what happened to you?
Right out the back.
Oh, boy.
Well, so I wanted to share that. And on a final note... Yeah, Pavel and Ray and Pavel.
I noticed Rimmer's been saying that during the games, too, by the way, speaking of stealing my material, but at least he's awake when he says that. Okay, nice going there, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. There's a guy who had a little bit of a problem, and like I said, that's something we all share in common, but the federal government, an agency, appointed agency, bunch of old farts, have sat up there and decided, oh, we can't talk about that, that's disgusting, it's vulgar. Based on what? And how do you draw the line at what aspect of it is vulgar and what is not? Is diarrhea vulgar and constipation is not? Is bloody oozing diarrhea like what's his name?
Roy!
Used to have? Oh, by the way, won't see him no more. How'd that golf tournament come out? See, I noticed that as we move farther and farther away from back September 24th, that seemed to be like a defining moment, a negatory kind of a moment in the history of our existence on this radio station. September 24th was the famous OJ golf tournament. And then just mysteriously in October, we took a bath. We had a month, that month in the trends that was unbelievable. Like the whole audience just ran shrieking away. I can't imagine why. It kind of reminds me of that one guy. Remember he called. He said, I think everybody should turn the show off because, remember that? And I said, in other words, they should punish me because I work for a bunch of dishonest grave robbers who have no principle and no scruples. And he said, yeah. I said, okay. Here's a mobile in Pahokee. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Great.
I'm glad I caught you. I hate to be like the people who always ask you to repeat something, but the name of that book that you use is your Bible now as far as food goes?
Fat and Fiber, the 2030 Diet Plan. You can't miss it because it's a paperback and it's got like a counter with a chain attached to the upper left-hand corner of the book.
Fat and Fiber, the 2030 what?
Diet Plan by Gabe Mirkin, M-I-R-K-I-N, and Barry Fox.
Yeah, that
like
IBS doesn't have anything to do with like terminal heartburn and indigestion, does it?
That can be part of it, sure.
Man, that's killing me. Everything always gives me heartburn. But anyway, listen, I'm glad you're back. It's been a great show.
Thanks. A great day. So there you go. December actually came out okay, which means, the next trend, which doesn't come out till March to something. Isn't it interesting and mysterious, by the way, that Arbitron is having these problems and have to keep pushing the ratings and the trends back? There was that thing with 8,000 diaries that they found in